celebration, I would like to recognize in our presence Sister Grace Yangi, Deputy Secretary General, Associated of Consecrated Women in Eastern and Central Africa, AQUECA. Thank you very much. He's not yet in our midst, but I'm sure he'll be coming in. And when he does, I'll make a point to note the presence of Professor John Odhiambo, the former VC, Strathmore University. I'd also like to recognize the presence of Dr. Edward Mungai, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Planning, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Partnerships and Development. Also in our midst is Dr. George Njenga, Chairperson, SBVP Advisory Board, Founding Dean of the Strathmore University Business School, and the Chief of Party USAID Strategic Partnership Program. I'd also like to recognize a face you're familiar with, Dr. Angela Ndunge, Principal Investigator, Sisters Blended Value Project, Strathmore University. And then I'd like to recognize Dr. Nancy Njiraini, Academic and Research Lead, Sisters Blended Value Project. Thank you very much. And finally, the SBVP board members, coaches, faculty, partners, and guests. The list I've just read at the end is written welcome, so I'll say welcome. We're going to start off with the welcome note by Dr. Angela, the Principal Investigator, SBVP. Tumkaribishe na makofi tafadhali.
Thank you, Charles. Good afternoon, everyone. So I will stand on the protocols that have just been read and not repeat them. Maybe just to acknowledge one more part of the protocol. We have our Associate Dean, Academic and Student Affairs. I guess he wears many hats, so sometimes they confuse him. Is he SBVP or is he Associate Dean? So I really want to also recognize the presence of our Associate Dean, Academic and Student Affairs in the Business School. Karibuni sana. And maybe a lot of you, oh yes, David Maduva, I forgot to mention the name. So he's also here with us. Yes, as I was preparing for today's opening remarks, I was wondering what to say. And again, one of my favorite quotes came to mind when such occasions come. And I'm just going to read it verbatim. It says, "A man who calls his kinsmen to a feast does not do so to save them from starving. They all have food in their own homes. When we gather together in the moonlit village ground, it is not because of the moon. Every man can see it in his own compound. We come together because it is good for kinsmen to do so." So if you're wondering why it is, and that is Chinua Achebe, it is because all of you are here because in one way or another, you have contributed to the journey of the sisters in the Sisters Blended Value Project. Additionally, we also have partners and also potentially future partners who have also joined us. We have invited you because we are trying to expand this ecosystem of social entrepreneurship. So we have sisters who are working on projects that are, of course, innovative. But within that, we have realized they are also going to need an ecosystem beyond themselves. So majority of us are, of course, coming from the Sisters Blended Value, from the Strathmore University fraternity, but we also have other collaborators and potential partners who have joined us. The MC tried to tease out to see how many people probably have a little bit of that history of what is Sisters Blended Value, when did it start, and all that. And I think he gave you a hint. It started around 2020, 2021. And my colleagues will be coming to share a little bit more details. So just allow me to share a few highlights. And as we go along, because we will be of the theme of celebrating this journey, a lot of them are going to give you deeper insights of what the project has been. We will also give you a bit of overview of some of the maybe challenges and lessons we have learned. And these challenges are to be applied not just for sisters, but across all those who are striving to work with social entrepreneurs. So in academia, we say we are also trying to see how we can add to the body of knowledge in terms of social entrepreneurship. So the Sisters Blended Value project actually had existed before it came to Strathmore, and I believe the Quaker team will speak to it a little bit. But when we as Strathmore got involved, that was during the COVID time, around 2020, 2021, through our chair there, Dr. Njenga. And the idea was first to start to understand what are the issues that are affecting sisters as they run their social ministries. And as you are aware, many of these were affected by COVID. So sisters ran schools, sisters ran hospitals, and you remember those are the sectors that were critically hit during COVID. Schools had to shut down, hospitals had to also run differently, and sisters were impacted significantly. And therefore, this question about sustainability of these social ministries started to become a major topic around how do we support sisters to be able to navigate some of these challenges, not just COVID, but into the future. We don't know what is coming, but there's a lot of disruption in the way we do things. And of course, sisters had been probably used to models that were more charity, donation-driven. And now this was a point to stop and reflect. Is there a different way that we can move forward and have these social ministries which are helping to serve the vulnerable run sustainably so that not only are they able to support the communities in which the sisters operate, but also to support the sisters themselves. Many of you see the sisters very smart here with well-ironed dresses, always smiling, and the first thing we always do is tell them our problem. But rarely do we ask them, did you eat? When you are sick, where do you go to hospital? You run this hospital, but you, when you're sick, where do you go to hospital? Do you have a family? How is your family? Rarely do we think about that when we are interacting with them, because our natural inclination is to tell them our problem. So we hoped also through this project we can humanize the work that they do. They are also children of certain parents. They also come from homes. They also need education. They also need, what do we call it? Healthcare provision, just like the rest of us. And it is time that we reorient our minds into how we can work together. So sisters reorient their minds about donations, charity to social enterprises. And the rest of us who are lay people, we have to reorient our minds to seeing how can we partner with sisters in a way that is beneficial to them and also beneficial to us. We have had experiences where sisters have shared with us people trying to take advantage of their goodness. Sometimes they are conned by some experts. I visited one of them and they said, Dr. Angela, we've been trying to get somebody to advise us on how to farm properly. But this person lied to us. Everything we did, down the drain. And those are just some of the little experiences when we are going through project. We have come to discover. Part of the challenge now we have, I'm happy our DVC here partnerships. is also to look at where are the credible experts that sisters can reach out to without being conned. And sisters also helping them to be a bit more savvy, to partner with the right people, especially when it comes to these technical aspects of their social enterprises, so that they are also able to advance. So we have invited you here because some of you we think are some of those credible people that sisters can work with, and to expand that horizon. But also we have our colleagues who are represented here, who have, of course, supported the journey. And I see my remarks have many things about the achievements of SBVP, but I will reserve those for the panelists that are coming after this. And mine is to once more to welcome you and thank you for making time to be here to share with us this great milestone where we are closing this part of this phase of the project, but also having a moment to reflect on what we will do differently as we move to the next phase of the project. So welcome once more, and thank you for coming.
Another round of applause. For some reason, that was better than the first one. I am curious why. Thank you very much, Dr. Angela. And now for the opening remarks, I'll call Dr. Jordan Njenga, the chairperson SBVP Advisory Board, the founding dean of this school in the university, and the chief of party USAID Partnerships Program. Karibu. A round of applause, please.
Good afternoon, Dr. Angela and all the team. Asanteni sana, Sister Grace. It's wonderful to see you here. My Deputy Vice Chancellor, thank you for honoring us. Has Professor Odhiambo come in? My Associate Dean there for Maduva, Charge of Academics, and all protocols observed, dear sisters, and all those who have responsibilities of managing sisterhoods. Thank you, dear partners, for coming to see us. There is a rationale behind us inviting you, and that is to improve the dignity of women, to improve the dignity of the poor people, to reduce poverty, and to improve productivity economically where you work, dear sisters. Most of all that is nothing, is zero if you're not holy. And those 4 principles were the principles that we discussed with this team here, right from the word go. And there was a lady who really moved me very much and is in an intellectual, Dr. Jane Wakahio. She is the vice president of the Sisters Department within the Conrad N. Hilton Foundation. I wonder whether she's there. Eh? She's asleep. Eh? You made sure you had this when she was asleep. Sister Jane told me 2 things. I have to make the sisters holy and I have to make them sustainable. How do I do it? That was our first dinner conversation ever. What can I do? I've tried and tried. I've tried this. I've tried that. Told him, now try again. And let us see. And of course, since I had a team well organized here under Dr. Angela, they took up the role. It has been a tough job. Dr. Nancy. What have we discovered? First, it is possible to be sustainable. And that sustainability is the one that Dr. Angela, by the way, congratulations from your new appointment by government to some board or other. I need to read which one. Well done. That is what she keeps saying, from social human support systems to social enterprise. Social ministry is very complex, but basically what you have been doing is humanizing people, is rescuing the disabled, is taking care of the one whose mother and father only God can work out through you. You are humanizing society. So that one, from social humanization and dignity of needy people or people who are underserved, we want to move it to social enterprise for two reasons. Number one, you can be a social enterprise. In other words, you can be sustainable financially. Number two, you can actually access finance without having to be given free money. You are too used to free money. It's a disaster. Number three, come back to school. So that when somebody is cheating you down there, you know they're cheating you. You cannot ask somebody to advise you if you know nothing about what you're being advised. Am I right or wrong? I have seen sisters who have been misguided and has lost property worth 120 million. Nobody told them they were in the highest hill in Kisii, and this is the place where all the lightning strikes. So all the entire water heating system, machinery, is constantly going down and is burnt out. So I sent somebody there to check, who gave his time and money. And now we have to reinvest 1.4 million, which God has given us. So they have it now. On top of that, they have a machine for embroidery, which they got to continue their sustainability model. On top of that, they had forgotten about the communities because they're discalced Carmelites, they are monastics. Told them, no, I know that your religious vocation demands you to remain praying most of the time and inside the cloister, but you have to get out and learn. So I give them to Angela. Angela gladly accepted them, then taught them. And now, by March next year, that farm of theirs of 50 acres will have a retreat house, at least the beginnings of one. All right? I will not speak about the work we have done with the Immaculate Heart of Mary Sisters, the sisters in Zambia, the SMGs. I mean, 1,000,001 things have happened. Most of all, you have discovered that God calls us to work in the world and well. Where are we going to improve things? Dr. Angela, there is a little point that was there right from the word go. What we're asking of the sisters, we ourselves have to be able to do the same. And at the end of this program, we were meant to start an institute under the Social Enterprise Center of SBS. That Social Enterprise Centers was going to have, in a very particular way, a sisters learning center. We have not yet done so, but in this next phase, I hope we can do it. And it has to be in partnership with the institutional learning framework of the nuns like Chemi, Tumaini, probably even Kuea. We have to bring them as partners and get the dedicated theological, philosophical model so that they can keep learning their areas, especially with regard to the canon law, but also from the canon law and their religious institutional rules and regulations to social enterprise. We have to keep working with God's grace in moving along this journey, but that can only require intellectual work. A lot of intellectual work which will come from us here. So that is my prayer to you. As the chairman, I apologize and I ask for forgiveness for not attending the last meeting. I was really beaten for missing that one because I really cooked them up. I will also ask a second thing. The mundane part of that institute of sisters can incorporate a certified business advisory service provider's context, from auditing to technology to engineering to agriculture. we can identify a cross-section of business advisors whom we certify, and therefore the sisters can send them to us, for they pay something, for the certification. They must pay something. Hawezi pata ya bure. Ndio wakienda kwa sisters wanasema, mnajua huyu mtu amesoma mnamjua ukweni anaitwa nani? Kamau ama Madhuva. Na anaweza tusaidia hapa. Then we have to connect you through that institute to financial institutions. And there I know is another quandary. How do sisters work with financial institutions? It's a huge quandary for many of you because you haven't learned. Then you come here, you are advised, and we can take a bit of the money that you will borrow and say, okay, sasa chukua hiyo ingine fanya kazi. Yes. Already you're being given grants thanks to Conrad and Hilton Foundation. But if all that happens, and we begin this institute, and you are not holy, sasa tumeisha. Ile ukweli ni ukweli. Haya mwisho. Amkeni. Munaulizanga pesa, you ask money to go and build a hospital, physical hospital, in the middle of Loyangalane in Turkana. Ni ukweli ama sio ukweli? Sasa, now there is something called a mobile hospital. If you have a mobile hospital, helped by the communities, cooperatives, pastoralist cooperatives and associations, and government of Kenya, people don't need to walk 50 kilometers to your hospital. Now technology has improved. Number two, in that solar-powered with lithium batteries mobile clinic, you can have all the data of the people there, their eyes, their name, their information, etc., so that when you're passing through that place, you know the conditions. You don't have to wait for them to carry their medical information inside their pouches here, and you know what happens in the end. There is no medical information. Then how do you even include insurance companies there? And I can tell you, just with that little idea, you will bring education, you will bring the priest there to the people, you will bring the healthcare services to the people. Do you know the average distance a poor woman who is pregnant in 80% of Kenya's land? Do you know how long they have to go for healthcare? I was computing it. It is between 50 and 150 kilometers, and most of them die on the way. And there is no news about it. It's a disaster. So we have to think of improving and getting those people down there to come to you. Now my minutes are over. I can only thank God for this first part. I can only thank you for pushing it forward, Angela and team, David, for all the learnings that you have had. If you still want me to continue supporting you in the advisory board, I will. I will find money, so you keep me there. I will still find more money for you to do this work until that institute is set up of social enterprise and a sub-center there for sisterhoods of Kenya. May God bless you. May Conrad Hilton Foundation continue to support us. Na mrudishe ile pesa mumeomba. Ni ukweli ama si ukweli? Is it true or false? I know Sister Young here can't understand Swahili. Unanielewa Swahili? Kidogo. Kutoka Dar es Salaam au Zambia? South Sudan, unasikia kidogo ya South Sudan. Kindly spread the word across our Eastern African and Southern African and Central African borders. Mungu awabariki, awaongezee for all the work you have done. It is only God who can give thanks to you. Thank you.
Sana, Dr. Judd. I'd like to apologize in advance to, in my mind, I call her Sister Gen Z because I keep interrupting her, our sister here. I'd like to recognize now in our midst Professor John Odhiambo, former VC, Strathmore University, and President Strathmore Academy for International Research Collaboration. A round of applause, please. Karibu sana. I'd also like to recognize our online team. I don't know whether you can hear me, but if you can, put a thumbs up emoji on the screen. Hopefully the rest will see it. And online we're joined by Sister Sylvia of the Zambia Association of Sisterhoods. But I would also like to recognize Tanzania Catholic Association of Sisters, Association of Religious in Uganda, and of course, EOSC, Association of Sisterhoods of Kenya. In our midst also is James Nyamai, CEO, BioAfrique. A round of applause, please. Also online, we'll later on be joined by Luntha Television, a Catholic TV, which is based in Malawi, as well as HASC, which is an umbrella body of 118 Catholic health facilities administered by Catholic sisters. They'll also be joining us online. In our presence are partners who've joined in. I'd like to recognize the presence of Ms. Charity Munyuri from Equity Bank. She's the Senior Manager, Women and Youth Banking. Also, we have Brother Dr. Jonas Yawovi from Tangaza University. Thank you very much. He's the Director of Institute for Social Transformation. Rosemary Irungu from KOSE, which is the Annual Africa Conference on Social Entrepreneurship. Thank you very much, Rosemary. She's the Events Manager. I'd like to recognize the presence of Sister Michelle Njeri. Michelle Njeri? Yes, thank you very much, Sister. From Communication Network for Catholic Sisters. She's the Director. I'll continue. My list is not over, but I'll be done in a few. Mr. Joshua Okeyo. Mr. Joshua Okeyo from Philken Agritech Limited. Thank you very much for joining us, as well as Mr. Felix Magaju. Felix Magaju, Kenya Climate Innovation Center. Thank you very much for joining us. Without further ado, I'd like to call upon Dr. Edward Mungai, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Planning and Development, Strathmore University, to give us his remarks. A round of applause.
Thank you very much. I would like to borrow from the protocols that have already been noted. I recognize the MC is going through the list and is still not yet done. So allow me to build up on that. That said, I think let me recognize sister here, Yangi. Welcome. Grace Yangi. I got it. Okay. The Deputy Secretary General, Association of Consecrated Women in Eastern and Central Africa, also it's called ACWECA. Got it right? Yes. I also want to recognize, I'm told that she may still be catching up, Dr. Jane Wakahio. I think the Conrad and Hilton Foundation are obviously very much one of the strong partners behind this project. And without them, we may not have gone this far. So allow me also to recognize them in particular. And of course, when time is due, obviously pass our appreciation to them. Also, and I think reflected on this board behind is, of course, our team from the business school. Of course, led by Dr. Jenga, my friend and colleague, Dr. Angela and Dr. Jeraine, and all the others. I don't want to start mentioning everyone. So, of course, without those three partners, I think this will not be here. But of course, as has been mentioned, all of you who are supporting us today, the sisters from different countries, If we assembled all this and we didn't have students, we wouldn't have no program, and we have nothing to talk about. So, thank you very much, everyone. Today is a day of celebration, so I shouldn't take a lot of time. We're here to listen, to see some of those things that have been mentioned. So I'll keep my few comments on where I see the cross connection of what this program does and what the university aspires for. And some of things have been touched by colleagues. I think Professor Diabo has been mentioned, so if I make a mistake, he'll correct me after this. But the first thing, I'm sure of, we have 8 values, but I'll talk of 3, which I think really connects. The others do, but I think these 3 do. The first, and I think it comes out very even in the documentation, is that as a university, we exist to serve society. It's a value that cuts across not just the university, but our programs, and this one in particular you can see. And that is why, as Dr. Jonga is taking, Dr. Angela was talking about what the sisters do, you serve society. As an institution, we exist to serve society. In education, of course, particularly, but in many other things that you can do, research and all that. So this, to me, is very important that we keep in mind, because I would hope that this actually can be the reason most, if not all, good-willing organizations exist. Okay? Okay, even the business that you're talking about and aligning them to values. If we look at that all institutions exist to serve society, then I think we all have a common objective. And, even when you are competing, we know who is good to be the best one to serve society. So this is important because then it leads to what brings us closer as 2 institutions here, the ones I've mentioned, and this particular program. Dr. Jenga mentions about being taken for granted by some professionals and people taking advantage. In the university here, we have a strong emphasis on ethics, because we bring is one thing to teach people, professionals, to be good in whatever they do technically, but it's very, very important also to teach them to be ethical and have strong values. And if anything, this is one area where we try to ensure that all the students that come through this university at least have an appreciation of this, the importance of this. And of course, as we all know, this is something that may not look immediately important, but we know with time, it's actually the differentiator. And as you work with your institutions, whatever you're trying to do, I think this is one thing sometimes you really have to drive home. I know maybe because your sisters, some people may not get tempting you to do some of these things, but I think we have an obligation as institution, ourselves at the university, to stand up to some of these things that really need to stand up and say, this one doesn't pass, and it can cost whatever it costs, but you'll wait. And my experience, and I think some of you can attest to this, some of the things that are really, really demanding, they take time. You may have to delay projects because you can't get approvals or all these kind of things. But we are not going to give up and sacrifice on these values, because if we give up some of these values, then you have no reason to exist. We can be anybody else. So I think this is important for us. Yourselves, of course, sisters, you're even much closer to the ground, as we say in Kenya, than we are. Because there is a saying that you measure the development of society by the way that society takes care of the needy. And because people are not needy, they can sort their problem out, they can go healthcare, they can pay for it, they can afford school. But how do we take care of people who cannot afford fees, for example, in Strathmore? To me, this is it's a metric we look at. How many of our students are able to apply, and we are able to provide some scholarship for the other? Because we believe that the best students not necessarily can afford the fees we charge, and we have to charge some fees to manage the university, but we cannot forget that dynamic. So this is obviously connecting with this aspect of being ethical, okay? Because if we are focusing on serving society in an ethical way, again, we have to look how do we take care of those that may not be able to afford. And it's an important dimension. I don't have to get to that. As society grows, the way that these ethical issues manifest themselves are wide and varied. And for those of you who are in healthcare institutions, you know better than me some of the challenges you face. Not to mention education, we also have them. So whichever sector you do, I really want to encourage. So this is another connection that we have. Then the last one, in terms of values, as I go towards the end, is a focus on excellence. Excellence for us is a journey. And it actually tags many values that we talk about. I see there's a strong focus here on entrepreneurship, innovation, continuous improvement, long life learning. Some of these are our own values here at the university. And if you are going as you have done to continue learning your social enterprises successfully, there's no way you can stop learning. There's no way you can stop pushing for excellence. There's nothing that can stop, because that way you increasingly produce more value and you're able to achieve whatever you're created to do. I'm happy to note that this also connects us, with the SDGs. We have a few SDGs you have picked as a university. Closely connected, of course, eliminating poverty is one of them. Education is another one. So, healthcare. So, partnerships. So you have several goals in SDG that connect what the university does and what you're trying to do. And for all of this, to keep pushing ahead is an aspect of excellence. So it doesn't stop, it's a journey. And I'm sure Dr. Angela and the team here have put this. If you don't measure, you don't know what you're doing. So you have to have measures and continuously check how you're going ahead. So I like these three values because it's service society, ethics, and excellence. The word is C, S-E-E. So if you forget, remember this. Because to me, you see what you're doing. Okay, are you focusing on service society? Are you doing it in an ethical way? Are you pursuing excellence? So let me stop here, but as I stop, I really want to thank the team again. I hear that you're having a follow-up of this project. What I'd like to say that on behalf of the university and the management board and everyone else, we can count on our support. This is key to us, and so anything that you need us to support you, count on us. Come and knock our doors, and you can say, we'll wake up, even if it's necessary to do so. So thank you very much. All the best as you continue with the program. Asante sana.
Who has an idea what I'm about to say? Another round of applause. I'd like to recognize the presence of Mr. Vincent Rapundo, Head of Programs, Chandaria Foundation. Yes, he's at the back. Thank you very much and welcome. And also the presence of Mercy Chepto from DigiCow Africa Limited. Thank you very much, Mercy, for joining us. We appreciate it. What you do ties very much to our theme this year, which is sustainability, caring for people and planet. And Dr. Mungai has really emphasized how you are the people on the ground. In fact, technically, if I was a politician, I'd reach out to you to know what the ground is saying. And now, I'd like to invite Sister Brigita Samba, Sister Grace Yangi, Deputy Secretary General of ACWECA, the Association of Consecrated Women in Eastern and Central Africa, to give us her remarks. Karibu sana, sister. A round of applause. Tumkaribishe.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sister Grace Yangi. I'm Assistant Secretary General in the ACWECA Secretariat. And I stand here to represent Sister Brigita Samba, who is the Secretary General for ACWECA. She can't be present with us for unavoidable circumstance, but she delegated me to read to you her remarks, her opening remarks on this important occasion. People of God, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol are observed. It is a dream come true on our journey as partners and institutions, and above all, as agents of change within the church, that has made an inclusive environment navigating through the origin of our regional sustainability roadmap. This day is remarkable as we look back with immense jubilation in commemorating the incredible accomplishments of the Akweka Region Sisters Blended Value Project during these last 3 years. Dedication, creativity, and unshakable commitment to sustainability and social entrepreneurship have all been hallmarks of this journey. We are celebrating this milestone as we define the boundaries of our nations, congregations, institutions, individuals, and above all, as the church, realizing the solidarity of our faith through our networks. It is not for ourselves that we have done what we could, but in the long run, we witness the impact of humanity. And now, we count God's blessings crowned through the initiatives of the Sisters Partnerships in SBVP. Partnerships for the goals is referred to Sustainable Development Goal 17, Vision 2030. The primary goal aims to strengthen the implementation tools and to revive the global cooperation for sustainable development. Basically, organization strengthening is inclusive and vital to goal achievement. The 3 years journey has seen the sisters in the program partner with the various individuals and sectors as they ventured into ambitious social enterprises that have changed the perspective of the sisters regarding profit-making and their enterprises. In order to strengthen our focus towards other sustainable goals, sisters are building partnerships, some of which have been spearheaded by the Strathmore Business School, and these have become a hallmark of the project. Partnerships highlights the crucial cooperation between governments, the commercial sector, the civil society. To the last 3 years, the sisters have increased their collaboration with these sectors. Hence, religious sisters are becoming exceptional participants, advocates, and the beneficiaries belonging to our respective nations in bridging gaps and bringing cohesion and sustainability to society. We are glad to witness what our faith institutions are doing to ensure sustainability among our communities. Hence, our desire and drive to empower our sisters and communities shall be leveraged through long-term entrepreneurial activities. It may take a day to dream and years to fruitful input to grow. Respective of the Quakers' mission and vision statements, we appreciate the sisters who are behind the foundation of our Quaker region. We are grateful to all those who, in the past, contributed to the development of our Quaker programs. Among them, the SBVP that we celebrate today. As partners and stakeholders, we commit to build on the foundations of our Quaker programs. We are not forgetting the gaps experienced during the execution of our activities. These become our stepping stones and indicators to rethink and review our strategic models. We look forward to continued partnership with the SBBS and the Hilton Foundation to enable us continue strengthening the capacity of sisters as we advocate for competitive and long-term social enterprises that impact society. We acknowledge that our ecclesiastical properties are meant to carry out the specific mission to which prudence is key. Scaling up may require diversified upskilling, financing, and partnership. With a distinct recognition to our partners and stakeholders, the collaboration between a Quaker, Conrad Hilton Foundation, and Strathmore University School of Business, we appreciate the joint efforts that have resulted to valuable accomplishments through the training sessions that have been practical to scale up various congregational enterprises. As a region, we are convinced that sisters manage to move a stone to the next level in their activities. Therefore, we remind ourselves that these additional skills, both entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship, are business disciplines that involve innovative strategies in business dimensions. Success means to be connected to action. Successful people keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit, says Conrad Hilton. The sisters' enterprises are an opportunity to use their creativity. We commend everyone for their individual and the institutional efforts that have contributed to the accomplishments that we are celebrating this day. As we come to the end and the celebration of this phase of SBVP project, we are greatly indebted to all our partners who have immensely contributed to this achievement. Thanks to Conrad Hilton Foundation, Strathmore Business School, and our stakeholders, Quaker remains collaborative on engagements through the MOU review for successful rollout of future regional sustainability activities. Last but not least, let us remember to read the latest church encyclical, the Lexit Nos, an encyclical letter by Pope Francis released on October 24th, 2024. The title means He Loved Us. Referencing Romans 8, verse 37, which speaks to the inseparable love of Christ. With the forthcoming festive season, our Quaker region wishes you, one and all, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2025. Thank you all.
I feel like that clap was not, it did not cover. So at Strathmore, we love recognizing our guests, and therefore I don't know whether I'll allow Sister to leave, because we'd like to gift you as well as our previous speakers. So for starters, we'll start with Dr. Mungai. Dr. Mungai, kuja upewe zawadi. And the person to give the gift, I'll call you. The person to give the gift is John Nganga. John Nganga. John Nganga. A round of applause for John. Oh, okay. Anne has decided to do the honors. So karibu sana, Dr. Edward Mungai. I believe this is the spot. Alex, this is okay? Yeah. And sister, I know you've just sat down, but now, sister, yes. Karibu sana. There's a gift for you as well. Karibu sana. Join us on stage. Thank you very much, Anne. You are a good representative for a Quaker and for Sister Brigitta. Sister will be followed by Professor Odhiambo for a gift. Okay. Then I'll do a very, very, very short exercise. Very, very short exercise. Lift up your right hand. Your right hand, your right hand, your right hand. Me teacher, me teacher, me teacher, me teacher, me teacher. Up, kabisa. Up, kabisa, me teacher. No, there are people I can't see because their hands are here. Me teacher. Yes, and then now your left hand. Your left hand. I pledge my loyalty to the president and the nation. Left hand up, kabisa. Then now you've never noticed how beautiful this room is. Please look up and check out how beautiful it is. Round to your left and to your right. Lift your head, kabisa, 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 kabisa. Yes, much better. Now, we are moving on to the next part of our program, where we'll go through the SBVP journey, the Sister Blended Value Projects journey. And I don't know, according to our discussions, Dr. William Mureithi is supposed to handle this part of the program. Oh, sorry. My mistake. It's Dr. Nancy Ninjiraini. An MC is allowed to have 3 mistakes maximum. So that's my third one. I believe I'm out of them. Thank you very much.
I was about to give you mistake 1. So thank you very much, sisters and our partners, our guests, our friends, our leadership. Thank you all for being here. So the purpose of today was to share with you, to remind our sisters already know our journey, and some of our partners who've been working with us already know part of our journey, and our new partners to just remind us of what this journey has been and how much further we need to go and why we need you as our partners, collaborators, collaborators, friends, to join us in this journey of serving our communities. So in this part, we are going to tell you a little bit of what that journey was, and then my colleagues will come later and talk about the impact and a lot of other things that we have planned for you. So my role here is to introduce what the journey has been, and then I believe my colleagues, Dr. Mathuva and Dr. Diana, might come in at some point. Sister Perry, Sister Celestine, the MC will tell us what that order will be, and then we'll also summarize it with a video at some point later on. So as has been said, Dr. Angela introduced it very well, and she reminded us where the journey started, what happened, and Dr. Jenga was right there when it began. So we've got a little bit of that information. And also, as I am sure Sister Celestine will remind us, that before Strathmore, there was Sisters Blended Value. It existed before us, supported by the Miller Foundation, and other partners were supporting Sisters Blended Value. And it started from a conversation that took place in Rome. We will tell you a little bit of our part of the journey, because that's what we know best. So we'll tell us from where Strathmore came in. So we came in 2021 when we were approached by Conrad Hilton Foundation, and we were asked to do a baseline survey to understand where the sisters were in terms of their activities, their ministries, their charities that were aimed at income generating. What are they doing? What are their challenges? What are their issues? What are they struggling with? And so we did that, and you remember 2021 was still at the height of COVID, and there were many struggles around that. So we went out and spoke to different sisters and different people who are supporting sisters to try and understand what was happening. And we came back and provided that feedback to Conrad Hilton, and we had quite a long list of the issues that we came back with, but we narrowed them down to 4. We grouped them into 4 pillars, and those are the 4 pillars we are going to be talking about, because they turned around and said, okay, now those pillars you've said that can be implemented, please go ahead and implement them. So those are the 4 pillars we are going to focus on today as we tell you what's been happening since the end of 2021. Let's call it 2022, 23, and now we are at 2024, which is the 3rd year. So we have of course, we've mentioned it here a number of times, funded by Conrad Hilton in partnership with Akweka, as Sister Grace has very well reminded us. And these are the 4 pillars that we are working towards. So pillar 1 is capacity development, which focuses around understanding what a social enterprise is. What do you need to do? What do you need to be aware of? What skills are relevant? So is it finance? Is it marketing? Is it talent management? What are those skills, technical skills that you need around social enterprise? So capacity development focuses on that, and we had aimed at reaching 600 sisters. The next one was collaborative networks, and we were looking at what sisters need to do in order to engage with the outside market, outside of their circle, because of course we know that sisters are not trained to be business people, if we can use that word for today. They were trained to serve society, to pray, depending on their vocation and their charism. But they needed, if they're going to get into social enterprises, to connect with the wider world. Who else is doing what I'm doing? Where am I going to sell my products? So how am I going to connect to those? So we did workshops, seminars, conferences in the 4 countries that we are in. The next one is the research and knowledge sharing, which is where we collect information so that that knowledge that we are experiencing and learning can be experienced by others, not just the 600 sisters we meet or the ones we meet in the webinars, but any sister in any part of the world can access this knowledge and learn. For policymakers as well, what policies do you need to address or think about in ways that to support the activities and the work of the sisters? So we'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll tell you what we have been doing so far in terms of our target targets and what we have achieved in that period. The Innovation Center and Financial Inclusion is a little bit of what Dr. Jenga was talking about, where we start looking at a center, an institution, that's what he called it, where sisters can come and access knowledge and information, training, learning about where all some of these financial institutions and partners can be housed, so that sisters can come in and learn and experience and engage. So that was the fourth pillar, and Sister Paris is going to come and tell us about what's been happening, and the goal was to design it in this first 3 years, and then we start looking at a way in which we can implement it. So we designed it, we tested it, and we've had some experiences, and Sister Paris is going to come and tell us a little bit about that. So I'll only touch on capacity development and collaborative networks, and the research team will come and tell us about what they've been doing with research, and Sister Paris will come and talk about Innovation Center, and we'll proceed in that way. So in 2022, we reached 292 sisters. This is where we talk to sisters about starting their social enterprises and growing, those who had already started and those who perhaps were stuck at some point. So we were able to reach 296 and 92 sisters. Remember, we are working in 4 countries, so Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zambia. So sisters across those areas. And we were engaging 3 sisters from each congregation, so that if there is any chance of a sister needing to be transferred to another location, at least there is 2 sisters left and they can co-opt another one. So a total of 292, and we engaged them in 3 programs: project management, which was a one-off, and then social enterprise startup, those who are new to the idea of social enterprises, and then growth, those who had started but they need a way to grow but they are stuck at some element. So that was 2022. In 2023, we reached 282 sisters. So this time we wanted to reach the leaders, the superiors, because they are very important in the process of making decisions and engaging and supporting sisters who are doing social enterprises. So they needed to understand, what is this social enterprise stories you're telling our sisters? So we brought them in and talked about leadership and management in general, and more specifically around social enterprises. So we were able to reach 282 sisters, and we engaged them in 3 different levels. So 3 sisters from 1 congregation, but engaging them in 3 different levels. And then within that process also, we in 2023, we also supported 22 sisters to get coaching training, because coaching is part of what we do to support sisters. When you come into class, we don't say these are the theories, these are the examples, now go and implement. We try and walk some of that journey with you, and we engage coaches to walk that journey with you to help you unpack what you have learned into something that you can use. We don't want to continue doing this as coaches at Strathmore. So we want sisters to also become coaches. So we trained 22 sisters professionally. They're going to get the ICF Certification International Coaching Federation. So some of them, you'll see them here, Sister Celestine, Sister Paris, and a few others probably here. So they are in the process of finalizing their international coaching training so that they can become coaches of their fellow sisters. And then in 2022, we went back and looked at now other sister congregations or social enterprises, but this time we are looking at the established ones. We want to see if there is something that we can also learn from the sisters who are running big hospitals, big schools, big institutions, and they also want to scale. They want to move from where they are into another level of growth. But also, what can we learn from how you have engaged your social enterprise so that we can also continue to share that knowledge with the sisters across the different levels. So in 2024, we've reached 92 sisters who have recently graduated from the 4 countries in October. I think it was the last group of graduation. In the terms of collaborative networks, we've had 3 times 4, 12 conferences, I think. Yes? So we've had 3 each year. We have a conference in each country. So we have 4 countries. Do the math. I think we've done the math. It's 12. So 12 conferences where we've had opportunities to engage sisters with like-minded social entrepreneurs, whether they're sisters or lay people. And the goal there was to let sisters see what else is happening in their world. Whatever it is that you're doing agribusiness, you're doing education, you're doing hospitality, you're doing hospitals, whatever it is you're doing, there are others who are doing something similar. There's also an opportunity to collaborate. I don't have to do everything across the whole chain of farming production. I can do stage 1 and 2, somebody else can do stage 3, somebody else can sell. Whatever it is you need done, we bring you together in these types of settings where you can be able to meet others and start to have that conversation. So we had 12 of them in the last 12 years. Not 12 years, 4 years, maybe we'll be here for 12, who knows, in the last 3 years. And also, where we identified potential gaps. If sisters were saying we needed more time to talk about webinars, we needed more time to talk about finance, we needed more time to talk about a particular aspect, maybe we didn't have enough time during training, we put together webinars where we come in and do online sessions. We ask our faculties, we ask sisters, we ask our partners to come in and talk about a particular aspect that the sisters feel they might need more information and more guidance on. So we've done those, and we've met, and we've amplified advocacy. We've done capacity building through webinars. So that is the objective of networking opportunities and collaborations. So we've been able to meet at least over 1,400 sisters in the last 3 years on those online webinars, and they've been very, very fruitful. So those are the numbers for the conferences and the webinars. And in different countries where there are other activities going on that we can connect sisters to, especially the ones in Kenya. For example, at Strathmore, we have the annual Strathmore SME Conference. We have the HR Summit, International Women's Day, East Africa Health Expo, Research Symposium. We invite sisters to come and engage and experience with us what is happening. In Uganda, in Zambia, when we learn of these activities, we connect them and ask them to get involved in those activities so that they are also expanding their networks and going out there to learn more. So those are the 2 pillars that I'll talk about, and I'll ask the research team to come and talk to us about what they've been doing, and then after that we'll have the collaborative networks, and at the end Lucy, our colleague, will come and tell us what are the overall learnings, what are we taking away from what we have been doing. So Lucy will come and tell us that at the end. So research team, I'm not sure who's coming. Dr. Mathuba. Okay.
A round of applause.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. Yeah, so I am here in my capacity as the research coordinator in the Sisters Blended Value Project. And I'm not alone. So even as I present, I have my colleagues here in case I'm stuck. I can always reach out to them. So I have Dr. Diana Ominde, she's over here. I thought I saw Dr. William Muriithi. Now this is where you start getting scared a bit. I think he's around. Then I have Sister Pamela. I'm sure she's somewhere, all right? So yes, that's a team, plus other colleagues who've assisted us as we walked the journey. There are 3 objectives we were pursuing in this project: factors influencing the successful transformation of religious social ministries into sustainable social enterprises. So here again speaks to the overall aim or objective of this project. And then the second, we are looking at the association, not the relationship, just association between religion and social entrepreneurship. Just trying to see what it is that we could find there. And then finally, of course, looking at the nexus or the relationship or the link, let me say, between health and well-being of Catholic sisters. So some of these studies were taking a quantitative, where we worked with numbers, but others, of course, like the last part, you can imagine that is mainly qualitative. And I can confirm I had experts in that area. I am a self-proclaimed quantitative person, and I'm sure my professor, John Odhiambo, is in the house. I acknowledge your presence. He can confirm. Numbers, All right, so we move on to the next. Yeah, so in terms of numbers, and I'll run through this quickly. I mean, there's a lot of work behind this, some of which you've seen outside there. Those are just snippets and briefs of some of the things we've done. But over this period, 2022-2024, we've had a total of 43 publications of different sorts. And of course, at the core of it, we've had 13 journal research papers. A number of them, like I would say 3 have been published, all right, in reputable journals, peer-reviewed quality journals. And on the side there, you'll see some of the journals where we've gotten some of these publications. One of them you see there is a journal I never thought I'll ever publish in my lifetime, Pastoral Psychology. I'm an accountant, but now I found myself in pastoral psychology with, of course, my colleagues led by our principal investigator here. We also have the journal, the Social Enterprise Journal. This is an emerald kind of journal with an impact factor of 4.5. For those in research space, you know what 4.5 as an impact factor for a journal means. Pastoral Psychology has a 0.9 impact factor. Impact factor is all about the reach and people making use of all the publications for different things. Of course, we've had some works available on SSRN. This is not really a journal as such. It's just a platform where you can showcase your work as you prepare it to be published in a reputable journal. We've, on the side there, you'll see something written, knowledge. We've not only worked locally, but we've connected with the world out there. That is INSEAD. INSEAD is a top business school in the world. There is one of our white papers, which I'll talk about, which has managed to go through that INSEAD knowledge. Of course, the Strathmore Africa Case Center has come in handy. And I want to thank the project because it has really given impetus to the Strathmore Africa Case Center. The 17 case studies you see there, part of the 43, are all in the Strathmore Africa Case Center. But again, we've had partnerships with the Case Center, which is a global case center. And we have, I would say, as we speak, we have 3 case studies which will feature in the Case Center. And this is global, All right, so we have all those partnerships. So the 43 is explained there, 13 journal research papers. It takes time to get a paper out, but I have a very strong team here who are very resilient, even with some rejections. Hello? It happens. You send a paper, it is rejected, but we keep fighting. Yeah, and then we have white papers, technical policy papers. These are for insights as we deliver our mandate. And then, of course, case studies, of which we'll give a bit of emphasis later, something around the case studies. Now, that is to do with the outputs. And we've given a breakdown of how we've managed the 3 output categories over time. So up there, you'll see the case studies. And they are all organized around the 3 objectives, some capturing on the factors that, inform the transformation from social ministries to sustainable social enterprises. Some papers are on the relation between religion and social entrepreneurship or entrepreneurship. And then the third is on the health and well-being of sisters. So we've kind of captured that alongside the 3 over the 3 years that we've been in this. Down here, you'll see some additional impact measures in terms of how many people, I hope not robots, people, human beings, have accessed our work online. All right, so some of these outputs are already available online. So for the 3 years, we've had 436 online accesses for the 3 output categories. The journals having 336 accesses. Case studies, people are downloading and reading them and all that, 42. And then the white papers, we have 58. And the 0.91 there, it's a measure which we are not the ones who come up with it. It's out there in the journals, the various places where our publications are. So far, it is at 0.91. It's an average number, which is broken into the journals. The research interest score for the journal papers has been 2.15. Case studies, it's 0.16. And the white papers is a 0.1. So this is about the interest, people who are looking for this. And something I must mention about the case studies is that these case studies are available for use open access. Open access means anyone, anywhere in the world can download the cases and make use of them. And I think this connects with the overall purpose of this project. Then we have, in the next slide, additional measures of impact that we were able to capture. This year, we had our Regional Social Enterprise Symposium. You know, as researchers, we always allow time for us to do some things. So we organized the Regional Social Symposium, and we had 79 participants drawn from all those countries you're seeing there. Not just Kenya. Of course, we had our main countries captured, but we had people logged from elsewhere. So it took a hybrid format. So we had it happening here, but then we allowed people also to connect, just as you can see with our forum today. So far, as I said, because it's online, we were able to even check the people who had a look at the symposium online. So we had 825 online views as of yesterday. And we had to capture the likes. There are 16. Hello? 16 likes. But how many are we here? Kindly like after this. On the side, there is a number I want to start with. We've talked of case studies, and some of these case studies have been used in training, capacity building, linking with the first pillar. And I was just quickly computing the numbers. They are not here. So far, we've had about 138 sisters in various programs trained using the case studies that you're seeing here. All right, that is 138. But then now we've also, from the research side, because Dr. Njiraini talked of course, the other conferences and engagements, we've been working very much close. But I was a bit interested in the webinar series that have been facilitated by the research team. And these webinar series are informed by the research we've been doing and our observations. And we've had 4 webinar series. One was on strategic visioning. This is just about strategy and looking into the future. We had 70. And when I write 70 participants there, these are majority the sisters, right? We invite them. There could be other people from outside, but I would say like 90% have been our sisters in various countries. We had another one with 60 participants on effective project management. That was delivered by Dr. Minde. We had one I facilitated, that is 58 participants, on financing and fundraising. I don't know why the number was small. Is it because they saw money, finance? I don't know. But we had another one very targeted to the sisters in Zambia, and we had 18. That's why you see the number there. It's a bit targeted because of sometimes we would also follow up with some of the things sisters are looking for. So that was facilitated by Dr. Muriithi. It was on cost revenue model. Away from that, on the side, we've given advisory sessions. These, I would say, are pro bono, all right? It's just ourselves offering ourselves. And we took note of about 14 sisters in different congregations that have benefited on these advisory sessions on fundraising, strategy, customer retention, innovation, performance. And this is based on what they are looking for. Down there is a circle there talking about collaborative research execution with a team of faculty, research assistants. We've worked with sisters in our research engagements. And that's why you see up there, we have a number 2. Now, that number is powerful to me. We were able to get sisters, work with us to generate some of these outputs. Isn't that worthy a clap? All right? And we are looking forward to getting more sisters engage with us, all right, and get to generate even more outputs on this. Now, of course, we've worked with various people, collaborated with various, institutions, organizations, and people of all walks of life, and we want to thank them for that. Now, finally, as a result of these 3 years of engagement, and it's a challenge that we've just taken from the founding dean, Dr. George Jenga. He talked of the need to have a center, a hub, dedicated to this course. And I want to confirm, the business school the management of the business school approved the SANCEP Research Hub. Now, what is SANCEP? This is Murithi, I wish he was here. But down there, it's Strathmore University what? Non-profits, social enterprise, and what? Philanthropy Hub. And we want to take the challenge that Dr. Jenga gave us here to have a dedicated focus on the work being done by sisters in this hub. Our hope is later to have this grow into a center, and who knows, an institute, all right? But how we do things here, we start small, and I can tell you the energy Dr. William Murithi has. I don't know, where is he? He's over there. He is the one leading this. Thank you so much. A round of applause for Dr. Ari there. Thank you so much. He's supporting us. A lot of activity has already started taking place, and we look forward to even having more engagements. That is what we could capture. There are so many other indirect impacts that some we may not be able to capture here, but I want to thank the team that coordinated and everyone who supported us in this journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. David Mathuva, for walking us through the research part of it. And now, let us welcome Sister Peris Moshiri to cover financial inclusion solutions.
Thank you. I am Sister Peris Moshiri, a member of Little Daughters of St. Joseph. In this fourth pillar, we are with Sister Ferista, Financial Investment Manager. She is somewhere there. Sister Ferista, thank you very much. I don't think I'll dwell so much on objectives because I thank Dr. Jenga who touched all of them, and also Dr. Jiraine kept on touching them. So I think we can just go ahead. In this pillar, in this pillar, after training the sisters, the next one, the next slide. After training the sisters, they were trained on how to develop a business plan. And they came up with the business plan, they submitted, and it was evaluated, and then they pitched, and they were scored. So they received the marks, and through that, we were able to award them with seed grants. That was the journey of how we awarded the seed grant. And then we developed a financial reporting template where we were able to capture what the sisters did with their seed grant and which areas, keeping in mind that most of the sisters we trained in 2022, majority were ventured in agriculture. And a few in education, others in health, but majority were in agriculture. So at least we were able to see what they did, and we had two groups. We had one group in startup and another one in growth. Startup means that they just had an idea, developed an idea, came up with a business plan, and then went and implemented. And that's where we talk of having an impact, viability, and economic social impact. Then the phase 6 is ongoing communication and support. So we have managed to visit these sisters who received seed grant. We gave them seed grant. It was just a small, just to boost their social enterprises. After training, we could not just leave them. And then we had a small seed grant which we gave to the sisters. And after giving to the sisters, we have seen what they did. They went, and we have even some here. Some just from an idea, developed within 1 year or even 6 months, came up with an impact. And we could see whatever they did. Next. Out of the 61, we trained in 2022, we trained 61 sisters, congregations, and within 4 countries. So we managed to give each a seed grant. And in 2022, that is when they trained. And then 2023, we gave them the seed grant. And we, 2023, 2024, we had been following, working with them, seeing whatever they have started, and those who are in growth, how they have used their seed grant. And we have them here with us. So we have seen transformative success in Kenya. And we are proud of, this is Sister Catherine, who attended 2022 training with the first group. And we have seen, in fact, I'm proud to say that today, Sister Catherine, who is here with us, Sister Catherine, just wave yeah, Sister Catherine. Sister Catherine managed to, after pitching business plan with us, she went also pitched her business plan at OSK, Association of Sisters of Kenya, and she managed to get an award of 3 million. Clap for her. And she had been supplying sachets, other garments in our university. And in fact, she has moved from being a supplier to our partner of SBVP program. Today, we consider her as our partner. And we are proud of you, Sister Catherine. From 2022 training to a partner of Strathmore. In fact, she is on the list of the suppliers of Strathmore University. Next. And then in Zambia, we have, this is a superior of Sisters of St. John the Baptist. These sisters incubated the idea because in this pillar, they also receive business advisory. So they started an agricultural training where they train the youth from the locality. We keep in mind, we always know that sisters go to very remote areas. So these sisters in Zambia are in a very remote area where they have started an agricultural training the youth on how to farm and teaching them about pottery, about piggery, apiary, and they are doing great job. They don't have many. They have, the time we visited them, they had 7 students, and I know now they have more. So this is in Zambia. And they also keep pottery and train the students. In Tanzania, we have the missionary sisters of Precious Blood. They attended our training in 2022. And they had a dispensary. And this is what I'm saying, an impact from a small seed grant that moves to a hospital. They had from a dispensary to a health center. If you went in that dispensary before and you go today, you'll think you are in a level 5 hospital, isn't it? So this is before they received the small seed grant and after. So for us, what we give them is too small, but they have done miracles. Next. And then in Uganda, some sisters, I tell you, the sisters after that SBVP training, sisters have ventured. They were doing this, but they were just doing it, kienyeji like. But today, like now, these sisters ventured in goat keeping. Imagine goat keeping, sisters keeping goats. This is what they did. Look at their first house. Their first, for the goats, after they received a seed grant, they prepared a nice house. They increased their population. Today they have many goats, and from this they are able to get money, to get revenue, and support their formation house, support their convent. Because at the end, SBVP want the sisters to support their convent, to support their formation house, and above all, to support their charism, whatever they are doing within their remote areas, wherever they are serving. Then we have these sisters of Immaculate Heart of Mary, sisters from Kenya. These are sisters who have made us proud. They came with an idea after 22 training, an idea. And it was, for us, it was like a mega project. They are thinking of 100 millions. But what impressed us is that the sisters were able to bring on board our people from Strathmore. Dr. Madhuva here, Dr. Jenga, and many of them. They were brought on board, and together they started fundraising. And to our surprise is, within 6 months, they did it 2022, they have done first phase. Next January, they will have the students. Can we clap for them? And how they did it, they did fundraising. Everyone really took that project, all the sisters. They involved many people because they learned on fundraising. They did not go to look for a loan, but they started fundraising, involving everyone. There are people there, and I know they are also our partners here. We have invited. They don't know how to partner with the sisters. So after this, please see SBVP program. We'll show you how to partner with the sisters. You can see with the IHM sisters, they have learned how to partner. And now I invite Lucy to come and talk on partnership and collaborations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Paris. And I think if we are to go through the impact that has been generated to the sisters, I think we'll stay here for 3 hours or so. And so we are really grateful that sisters are showcasing what they are able to learn in class. So I'm going to take you through on different partnership and collaborations that we have been able to have for the last 3 years. And the first one is on stakeholder engagement, whereby we have ensured that at least we collaborate and we partner with the different associations in the different countries, because we cannot work without them. So we normally ensure that at least we do courtesy visits when we visit the different countries. And also what we do is when they have events, like when they are meeting the mother superiors, when they are meeting the sisters, at least we get involved in one way or the other. Then engagement of the sisters in the project. So we have ensured that at least we are not having just lay people working in the project. So what we have done is to bring sisters on board when we have the opportunities to have different positions. So we have, like Sister Paris was here, she's the manager for the incubation and financial inclusion. Then we have Sister Felista there, she has been mentioned. We have Sister Pamela working with the research. We also have other sisters who are assisting us in monitoring and evaluation. We have also sisters who assist us when we are doing research in different countries, and we have also sisters who are working as shadowing sisters here in Kenya. And so sometimes we call them to offer webinars for the sisters, and they also come to do lectures here at Strathmore. Then other support initiatives, and I want to really thank also the Strathmore University, because once they saw us involving the sisters, they have started even using the sisters facility. So what we normally do, if when we are having the activities in the different countries, we ensure that we don't use other facilities other than the ones that are managed by the sisters. Even here in Kenya, we accommodate sisters in the sisters institutions so that at least we can be able to support them in one way or the other. And we have also heard from Sister Paris, we are starting to onboard sisters to become our suppliers. If they have something that we are able to use as the university, then we are putting them at the forefront in terms of supplying us with different products and services. Yeah, so on to key learnings that we have been able to next slide, please, that we have been able to learn as SBVP when we're implementing the project for the last 3 years. And we have been able to know that we need to tailor the trainings that we have been doing to local context. And how we do this is we ensure that at least if we are doing the training in Zambia, then we have majority of the faculty coming from Zambia. If we are doing the same in Uganda, we have local faculty, we have local coaches coming to assist us to be able to offer these trainings in the different countries. And also we, for example, training on taxation, then we're involving the tax authority in those specific countries to be able to come and teach the sisters or to create awareness about taxation on how it goes on in those specific countries. Then we have also learned the importance of pre-training assessment, and I think this is where we went right at the beginning, where we did the baseline survey, because then Dr. Angela and Dr. Njereni here, they were able to develop the curriculum aiming to meet the gaps that we have found during the baseline survey in 2021. So we didn't just sit down and come up with a program or say that these sisters are going to do a SCP program. No, we didn't do that. We were addressing the gaps that we found when we were doing the training needs assessment. And that one has really worked. And that's why we have so many sisters showcasing the impact. Then the hands-on and practical learning yields better results. And this is whereby we have used different methodologies when we are offering this particular training. So we have sisters working on a project. So when they come and do the training at the beginning of the year, or maybe whatever time they have to start the training, then we give them a project that they have to go and work on. Then before they graduate, they have to come and present that particular project. And that project has to be associated with whatever they are doing back in their social enterprises. So that one has really worked. And we have also ensured that at least we have company visits. So we are taking sisters to other social enterprises so that they can see the social enterprises that are performing well, what is making them perform that well. So we are having a practical experience in terms of when we are offering the capacity building. Then bridging the technology gap, and this is what is affecting sisters, especially the sisters who are serving the remote areas. So you find that sometimes they have challenges with the network, they don't have laptops, sometimes there is no internet. So this is something that we are looking forward to bridge, come in the next phase and see how can we be able to reach those sisters who are in the interior places. And sisters have been able to, on the last phase, they have been able to respond. So you find that even when we are doing our coaching, because some of the coaching sessions were being done online, so we found that some of the sisters would move from one city to the other where there is internet, where there is network, to just have that coaching session, and then they go back to their congregation. So that's another learning. Then the need for ongoing support, that is the coaching, mentoring, and business advisory. And our coaches have really done a very, very good job. And I want to recognize them, and I know some of them are here. Thank you so much, Coach Fina, Agnes, Angelica, yes, and the others. So they have really done a good job, because despite us telling them that we just have a budget for you to do 6 coaching sessions, they still went ahead and even did 10 coaching sessions with our sisters. So we are so grateful, and that's what has yielded the results. That's why you are seeing sisters came with a mind of building a building for 100 million. Then they walked a journey with their coaches. Then they have been able to put something that they can be able to start with. So our coaches have been so helpful on that. Then training in financial literacy. So this one will keep on preaching about it, and we need to ensure that at least we still continue training sisters on bookkeeping, reporting, and record keeping. And so we are doing this in terms of, if, because we didn't have enough time to do the training, then we ensure that at least we are repeating this now and then using the webinars that are happening, and also looking at what can we have maybe free lectures that can be done online, so that at least we can attract so many sisters joining online and be able to learn on financial literacy. So on reflections, so I'll start with what worked. So I've talked about the curriculum, the way it was able to cover most of the gaps that were addressed during the baseline survey, and that's why we have had develop programs. We developed the programs, and then they were targeted to specific sisters. So we had programs that were aiming to sisters who had just an idea. So they need that idea to actualize it. So we had programs for that. We had programs aimed for sisters who already have the social enterprise that they are running, but it needs to progress from one level to the other. So we really worked in terms of targeting the program to the right sister. That one enabled us to offer the different programs, the different activities, because anytime we are always calling them, or anytime we need their help, they have been able to assist us in one way or the other. Then interactive training methods, that is coaching and company visit, which I've already touched on that. Then what didn't work, the duration of the training. This is feedback that we got from the sisters, especially on the financial related units. So you find that even if we do a 1-week course, then it's not enough for the sisters. So they still need more training. And this is whereby you hear sisters, when they're doing the evaluation at the end of the training, they need you to to increase the number of sessions. They need you to increase maybe the number of hours. Yeah, but we can only work with what we have. Then technology gaps, and I've already talked about that. So the issue of internet, poor network coverage, so some of the sisters could miss the coaching sessions, or some of the sisters have not managed to join the webinars because of those issues. Then balancing commitment, especially for those sisters in the higher positions, because they have so much that they're doing back at their social enterprise. So sometimes we could not afford to have them in the program because of the commitment that they have made. Yeah, so, and those are our key learnings and reflections for the last 3 years. And yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. For those who've not been part of SBVP at all, like our partners who've come today, isn't that what's going through your mind? Wow, right? And there are more opportunities to partner with the project as it continues. As always, I'd like to recognize the presence of Jennifer Selemani, Association of Women Religious in Malawi, who's joining us online. Jennifer, you can just wave at the camera. Hopefully we might see you. And the presence of Bina Maseno, Badili Africa, who is in the audience as well. Sawa. And now to finish this section of the journey, I'd like to invite Sister Celestine Nasiali. Sister, karibu sana, a round of applause.
Good afternoon. I come to affirm the partnership. So my presentation is about our partnership with Strathmore and how partnership can work. So sisters, I've just come to present you and to put more emphasis on the partnership. My presentation. In the meantime, I'm Sister Celestine Nasiari from the Oblate Sisters of the Assumption. I am the link between Akweka and Strathmore. So in case I say Akweka don't want or Strathmore don't want, then we don't have the blended program. But at least with what I'm going to present, it's going to affirm our partnership. The IT, as we continue waiting for them, maybe may I recognize the superiors who are present? I know I've seen some of them around. I've seen 3. Just to wave that, because when I stand here on behalf of Akweka, I'm standing because of the superiors. So at least you see we have one, Sister Purity. Just wave. They are not seeing you. People are Capuchin TV might not be seeing you. Sister Purity, Sister Elizabeth, Sister Pauline. Sister, I've forgotten your name. After the training, you went away. Beatrice, welcome. So as they continue preparing for my presentation, I'll briefly give the story of Sisters Blended Value Project. For Akweka today, we may say we are celebrating 6 years since Sisters Blended Value Project started. And this journey started when the Akweka Secretariat had some representatives who went to Rome for a conference on impact investment. So during this conference, there was a need on how to support Catholic institutions on how to venture into, on how to promote, on how to be sustainable with our social enterprises. So the representative from Akweka came back and said, we need to have a program at Akweka that is going to help the sisters run their social ministries in a different way. because we are used to saying social ministries, but now we have to say social entrepreneurship. So this is how Sisters Blended Value Project came in. That is in 2018. So it started from there, and at that time, because the conference, we had a university from the US. And this university is Santa Clara University from the US, which had a department in entrepreneurship. So we partnered with Mirror Center for social entrepreneurship to train the sisters. And I'm happy that I've seen we have two sisters who were trained by Mirror Center. One is here, Sister Christine. She's here. She's among the pioneers. So when the program came, Mirror Center came and they gave us a brother called Brother Keith. Brother Keith came around with other people from Mirror Center, and then they called around 11 congregations within 6 countries. They had their first training or their first pilot assessment at Subiwako Center, where they were taught all about social entrepreneurship. So after that, we were with them, they developed, they did their part, and then when we were to go in for the second cohort at Akweka, we had to think otherwise. For how long shall we be? Are they really getting the context of the African way of doing things? Because they are from Europe, they might still think that you want to do things in the other way. So Akweka had to enter into a local partnership with a local university. So that is how, if you follow the story of Dr. Njenga, he was able to get in touch with Sister Jane, and then the dream of coming close home and working with Strathmore began. And here we are celebrating the journey we have had with Strathmore University. So basically that's the journey of Sisters Blended Value Project. Are we together? So do you appreciate the partnership? Yes. So now I go to the achievements, because I've already talked to you now. For the sake of those who are online, I'll briefly talk about Akweka, because I know there are people online who don't know Akweka. They're only seeing it there. Akweka is an association of consecrated women in Eastern and Central Africa. Akweka works with major superiors in these 10 countries. And the 10 countries, actually it was in the first slide, the 10 countries are Eritrea, Ethiopia, Sudan, South Sudan, Malawi, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Zambia, and Zimbabwe as an associate member. The Secretariat of Akweka is in Ngoroi. It's here in Kenya, which means when we are doing Sisters Blended Value Project, we expect most of the Kenyan sisters to be really present and active in this program. So the partnership with Strathmore has been an eye-opener to the sisters congregation that partnership works. And I'll go to some of the achievements that you have been able to get through the partnership with Strathmore University. So the next slide. Sisters have been able to manage, not that we are not managing our projects, we have been able to manage our projects with a mind of social impact and financial sustainability of our congregations. We were used to giving, we orient people, we give out most. People come to us, we are ready to give. But with this program, we have been able to know that we are supposed to give an impact to the community, but also we are supposed to look at ourselves, how financially sustainable we are, or how are we going to be in the future. So this program and the training has made us to understand that. We have also been able to understand, to create awareness, how do we balance our life, our spiritual values when doing business, so that we give an impact to the community. We not only give the people who are coming to us for support, we also help them to know that the spiritual part of it is very important. And Father really gave us a really good example during Mass, for the ones who are in Mass, that we cannot work smart unless we are holy. So whatever we are doing, we are supposed to see how do we put in the spiritual values for the people whom we are serving. The other point is we have been able to see that sisters have become so innovative. Once they come to the training, they leave when they are ready. The example that Dr. Njenga gave, that's the Carmelite sisters, actually it has really made them to know that they can still be in, but they are able to give an impact to the community and also to sustain themselves. The other thing is, sisters, we know that we work as a congregation, and that is it. But through this program, the Assumption Sisters in Eldoret, they are likely going to visit the Little Sisters of St. Joseph and benchmark and share activities and share ideas. For example, they are running a school. We know this is our school, and sometimes we become competitors among ourselves, not knowing that if I go to the sisters who are next to us, they are able to give me ideas on how to improve with the social enterprise that I'm having, or if I'm having a challenge in the hospital, if I visit the sisters who are having a hospital, they are also going to give me some ideas on how I'm able to work with people. The other achievement that we really got is we are able to create small generating activities within our own congregation or even within our own communities, so that we are able to have a sustainable future for us. The other point is the visibility of a Quaker. All that is being talked about, for example, now, there are many people who are following this session, this celebration online. We are able to know that a Quaker exists. A Quaker has been having very many programs which are being run, but most of the sisters, even the ones who are here, they didn't know about a Quaker. But through this program and what Strathmore has made us to know, people are able to know that a Quaker exists, and a Quaker is the branch or is the regional body that is uniting all the major superiors in these 10 countries. Vice versa, also the program has made Strathmore to be known. Because sisters actually, when they hear about Strathmore, they say, how do I start going to Strathmore? How do I even enter Strathmore? But this program has opened ways for Strathmore to be known. And I know that Dr. Angela, you'll be having more sisters coming to study here. But before that, nobody thought about coming to Strathmore. We only know about our Tangaza, where, if you have gone very far, Nairobi University, but Strathmore, it was a different case. But at the moment, we are able to come here. We are just able to come at the gates and know that we exist. So they might be coming through the program to come and be here. We had only 2 learnings that we felt from our partnership level. The program is only being implemented in 4 countries, and for us this is a challenge because we are in 10 countries. So we are really praying that will be a way of us to expand the program to the entire region, and all the sisters are able to be impacted with these skills. The other learning we saw is some of the countries are the distance. Like Kenya, I don't think we have even touched half of the congregations in Kenya because there are 174. And maybe you have touched 60 or 50. So there's that challenge. Also the distance. Somebody in Marsabit, I don't know if you have touched somebody in Marsabit. So this is a learning that how do we start off with Marsabit? How do we go to Lodwar? How do we go to Turkana for these sisters who are there and they need to be impacted? Even in Tanzania, the same. They have many congregations, and I don't think that you have been able to touch within three years. So the action points, which we really failed from our side and from our partnership to expand this program to at least we expand from 4 to 6 or to at least to 6, where we are able to reach so that we are able to impact the sisters and we see the sisters ready for sustaining their ministries. The other thing we saw is to develop a strategic tool to enhance sustainability of the Sisters Blended Value Project. This project is being funded at the moment with Conrad Hilton. Tomorrow, who is going to be funding it? So what are we thinking about when we think about Sisters Blended Value Project? How do we get more investors to come and support the sisters? Or how do we have a project that is called Sisters Blended Value Project that's able to help the program to be there for the rest? The other thing is we also still need to see on how to foster ongoing communication with the major superiors. Actually, we have not touched most of the sisters or most of the congregations, so it is our responsibility to continue knocking at the national associations so that we get more superiors understanding the program. Some still feel that we are doing business. So we can't deny that, because it's really something new within the sisterhood by the nature of our life, so we cannot blame those superiors. So we need to see on how do we have a forum of continuous helping them to understand and to accept that this program has only come to help us to see on how to run our social ministries differently so that they are able to be sustainable in the future. Finally, how to broaden fundraising strategies for the sisters. Now that we are used for donation, we want free things, but how are we able to help the sisters to do different fundraising? We are very happy with the Immaculate Sisters for coming up and preparing for an harambe for them to see. But the remaining sisters, are we able to copy? Are we able to see that there is a way we are able to do fundraising without waiting for the donor to give us all the time, that we are able to use the available resources and use our hands so that we are able to sustain our social ministries and sustain our institutes. Thank you. I think that's what I had for you, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sister, for that amazing presentation. I'd like to, what would I like to do? Recognize. I'd like to recognize the presence of Sarah Washeke from Agricultural Finance Corporation. And also Sister Lydia Washira from CARITAS Bank. Yes, thank you, sister, for joining us. And now we'll move to the best, almost best part. I think, I don't know, they'll be competing on which part is the best. So we'll have impact stories, and we'll have a panel session. Now, because we are modern people, we'll have a panel session that will be blended. Get it? It will have virtual and in person. The head of our panel and the one who will be moderating is Mary Aminga, faculty at the Strathmore University Business School, co-program lead of the Bachelor's in Supply Chain Management. Thank you very much, John, for setting up. From Kenya, we'll have Sister Rosemary Ndege. Rosemary Ndege, who will be joining us here. A round of applause for sister. We'll also have Sister Marie Clara Lillian, who will also be joining us here. A round of applause. Then online we'll have Sister Foster Kangwe from Tanzania. A round of applause. From Uganda we'll have Sister Angelina Tukamushaba. And then finally, from Zambia, we'll have Sister Ethel Munsaka, who will also be joining us online. Thank you very much. And then tutawasaidia na maji. For the people who are online, you may not be able to have a desk and water, but you can request someone just in the next room to bring you a desk and water. Karibuni sana. Mary, take it away.
So over to me. So thank you, everyone. Good afternoon once more, or is it good evening? So a lot has been said. So you've seen the transformation, you've heard the transformation, you've experienced the transformation. So what I'm trying to say is a little bit of good can turn into a whole lot of good if fueled by the commitment of a social entrepreneur. So you can imagine the social entrepreneur being a Catholic nun. So good people, I'd like to introduce my panelists. So I start with the ones from Kenya. So I have Sister Rosemary Ndege, who is coming from the Emmanuel Sisters. Their social enterprise is called Emmanuel Broilers. And Sister Rosemary is an assistant manager in this particular social enterprise. Sorry.
Kindly move in front so that the light is not too much on your face. Apologies.
Is it only me or everyone? Thank you. I'm not a marketer, but in marketing they say that's a bumper break. So thank you for that. I was introducing Sister Rosemary Ndege, who comes from the Emmanuel Sisters. Their social enterprise is on Emmanuel Broilers. And of course, Sister Rosemary is the assistant manager in this social enterprise. Then of course, I have Sister Mary Clara Lillian. Sister Mary Clara Lillian, who comes from the Immaculate Heart of Mary. And then, of course, their social enterprise is Charles Haley Female Hostel. And then, of course, Sister Mary Clara is also an assistant manager in this social enterprise. So I go to our dear sisters joining us virtually. We have Sister Ethel Msaka from Zambia. Sister comes from the Sisters of the Holy Cross. Their social enterprise is the Holy Cross School. And then, of course, Sister Ethel is the head teacher in this social enterprise. And then, of course, from Tanzania, we have Sister Foster Kangwe, who comes from the Gema Galgani Sisters, and their social enterprise is a primary school building. And then, of course, Sister Foster is a congregation accountant in this social enterprise. And then, of course, finally, we have Sister Angelina coming from Uganda, who comes from the Consolers of the Sacred Heart. Their social enterprise is about coffee production, and Sister Angelina is the Mother Superior in this congregation. So would like to see the impact, the change that was envisioned in late 2021, where we are. So in my first question goes to Sister Mary Clara. So we'd like you to tell us briefly, what are the notable changes you've seen within your social enterprise, your congregation, and of course the communities that you serve as a result of participating in the Sisters Blended Value Project? Sister Mary.
Thank you very much. From our social enterprise, which started as an idea for 15 years, and the sisters didn't have the courage because of the money involved. So after the training, I think we got a lot of support, and we had the courage to start the idea and to implement. And one of the things that has transformed us as a sisters congregation is the mindset that it is not so difficult to do something until you start it. So we had that courage through the empowerment that was given, and from that we started the idea, forming groups, team, project team, and we reach out even to experts because we found that we didn't have the expertise to start off. So that is one of the things that have made us change the mindset of our sisters that made everybody get involved, committed to fundraising, to seeking help, to corroborate and network from the side of the sisters. And then when we started our project, we got to impact the community, employing or getting people working in the project, about 50, both men and women, getting employment through this social enterprise. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Sister Clara. So the change in mindset and a number of beautiful things that have changed within your various setups, the social enterprises, congregations, and of course communities. So now I move to Sister Ethel virtually. While we talk about these tangible effects, from a social enterprise perspective, would like to understand the impact this project has had on your charism, because you are entrepreneurs serving a dual purpose. So could you kindly comment on the impact on your charism, Sister Ethel? Sister, kindly unmute yourself. I think you're muted. The technical team, we can try see how we can support Sister Ethel. So as we wait for Sister Ethel, I'd like to jump over to Sister Rosemary. As we talk about these notable changes, they don't come without a challenge. Could you kindly let us know one critical challenge that you faced within your social enterprise, and how participating within the Sisters Blended Value Project has helped you and your other sisters within the social enterprise address this challenge? Maybe in 1 minute or so.
Thank you. As we started our project, it is clearly to say that one of the challenges that we came across, it was the issue of transportation. That is after getting ready our chicks. That is, we started with 3,000 chicks, and currently as we speak, we are able to produce 4,500. So it was a challenge to us on how to transport these chicks when they are ready. So through the SBVP project, whereby we learned a lot on collaboration and networking, this really helped us to convert this challenge to be an opportunity to us to network with our suppliers. And at a very low cost, our suppliers up to date, they are the ones who provide the transport for us, and this has really helped us to mitigate this challenge. Thank you.
Thank you very much again, Sister Rosemary. So we jump over again to Sister Ethel. Kindly comment on the impact the project has had on your charism.
Are you able to hear me now? Thank you. The impact that the project has on our charism is that it has helped us to see our charism in a different way. As Sisters of the Holy Cross, our mission is to educate and form. And over the years, we have had physical classes for the learners. But our social enterprise for online learning has helped us to respond to the need of the time now, where we have learners that are able to access the same education they are able to access in a physical class online. And this has helped us as Holy Cross sisters to respond to the call of God now. And even through the online lessons, we are still able to evangelize and reach out to the learners and provide for them the necessary education that they need. Thank you.
Thank you very much again, Sister Ethel. So in terms of being able to see your charism in different ways, thank you for that. So we jump over to Sister Foster from Tanzania. Sister Foster, kindly would like to know the impact of the project on you as an individual in terms of your personal growth and development. Sister Foster, kindly. You're muted again. If you can try unmute yourself kindly, Sister Foster. As you're waiting for Sister Foster to unmute herself, maybe I'd like to go back to Sister Rosemary. Could you kindly comment in terms of the impact you've seen in your social enterprise, in terms of maybe an increase or decrease in revenues as a result of you participating within the Sisters Blended Value Project?
It is with great joy that I report that for sure we have realized a notable change, and especially in finances. As I said there before, we started with 3,000 chicks, and after the revenue, we realized it was a good surplus. And in this surplus, it brought a lot of impact, since initially in the business proposal, for the sustainability of this project, 50% was remained to the project, 25% was to go to the congregation, and the other 25% was to go to a skill center that is for the vulnerable girls. So we have realized a very notable change. Now the 25% in the skill center, it has been able to give a full scholarship of 2 girls who will be sitting for their final exams come next year in April. For the project itself, from 3,000 through the surplus, we were able to move to 4,500 chicks. And with this, we believe in the next times to come, the more surplus we get, the more people we are going to receive. And still to our employees, we started with only 2 permanent employees and 2 casuals. But currently, as we speak, we have 3 permanent and 4 casuals. So we have a number of 7. And we project as the project also grows, we'll be able to meet more people to benefit from the same project. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister. Actually, a little bit of good can turn into a whole lot of good. Yeah, if we give these sisters, the change makers, a space to transform society. So I jump over to Sister Foster. I can see now you're unmuted. Kindly comment briefly on the impact the project has had on your own personal growth and development.
Okay, thank you so much. The impact he has seen after having this knowledge from this project, we see parents, trustees to give birth the children. Also, we see other impacts like improving of apostolate and doing our work. Also, good customer through that knowledge we have now. We have a good customer and the good arrangement also to run our project or to run our management with ourselves. Also, we have impact. The impact according to our charism is that we have able to proclaim Jesus crucified, our passion of Christ through teaching spiritual life to those people around us and saving the need. So this program having a good impact for us, for me, also for us as a congregation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sister Foster. I'd like to come back to you, Sister Mary. What can you comment about the impact of the project on your own personal growth?
Thank you again. I think I have benefited a lot from the training because I can now approach challenges I find in the society among the people I work with. I work with women, vulnerable women. Now I don't just listen to them. We work together and find solutions together. So in that way, I have become innovative, creative, and more resilient in terms of facing challenges with everyday life. And also, I have been able to be a mentor to my sisters. Gather courage and tell them this is the way we need to do things. We are no more going to do things the way we have been doing it. So I have been able to be courageous and mentor and monitor what I share. Thank you.
Well, thank you. So a mentor, a monitor, and you've been able to be innovative, resilient, and of course courageous. Thank you for that. So now I would like to have a parting shot. We start with Sister Angelina from Uganda. Looking forward, this was a dream maybe in late 2021. You've started your social enterprise. You needed to grow and scale it up. What vision do you have for this social enterprise for the near future? Let's say maybe 5 years. Sister Angelina, kindly.
Thank you. For our social enterprise, assured that it is a coffee project. Our main future vision is to have a coffee processing industry to improve on quality and revenues, and to employ the local people in the community around, also in the community members, to be able to get revenue and to be self-sustainable by having coffee of good quality and as their main cash flow in the community around us. It will be better and good for them to have it in quality. That is our future vision, to have a factory of processing coffee. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Angelina. What about you, Sister Rosemary? In 1 minute or 0.5 minutes.
Thank you. The vision for our project, one, it is the expansion of the project itself, that is in the structure itself and even in numbers, whereby we are projecting in 5 years to come, we will not be producing 4,500 birds, but 30,000. And this, we still project and vision, by the 5 years, we'll have 20 employees, and that is an assurance of a bread at table in the evening for these families. Still, we also have a vision in the 5 years to come. We'll have trained 20 more girls and even having a startup businesses for them for their sustainability, because we don't want them to go back from where they are. Thank you.
Thank you again, Sister. So the vision doesn't end here. So there's a lot amongst these social enterprises. So maybe again in 0.5 minutes, Sister Clara, what's the vision for your social enterprise?
It's just to complete the started project already, and within 5 years we expect to help girls have safe, conducive environment for studies within Karen, and at the same time we expand other projects to be social enterprises and make them more productive and more impactful in the society, and above all, helping us to live our charism of uplifting the dignity of women and especially girls. So in line with our Father Founder's aim, we'll be able to be more relevant for the mission we have been called to.
Wow, thank you. So creating more impact while living their charisms amongst other dreams, which is very good. So moving away from our sisters here, deviating a little bit, we started by saying a little bit of good can turn into a whole lot of good when fueled by the commitment of social entrepreneurs. So these social entrepreneurs being Catholic sisters. So while the rest were presenting, you realize we have 115% performance in terms of capacity building, if we look at it in terms of the notable changes. And then, of course, 119% performance from a research perspective. They are targeted to produce around 36 research outputs. They have been able to produce 43 research outputs. So that translates to 119 performance. So we had planned to train 600 sisters drawn from 40 congregations. We've been able to train 690 drawn from over 40 congregations, translating to 115%. So when we come down to conferences and webinars, we plan to have around 12 conferences for the Life of Project. So we've had all the 12 conferences, not only just conferences, being able to foster meaningful connections and collaborations among these sisters who are change makers within our societies. And of course, the seed fund that was given to 61 congregations, so 100%, because we plan to give 61 congregations, and we are able to give 61 congregations. And that's why we are seeing this impact emanating from some of these congregations. So to finalize, there are 3 critical congregations to add to this. We have Daughters of St. Anne, who are able to increase their revenues by US dollars 319 within an 8-month period. That is between August 2023 and March 2024 as a result of the intervention of the Sisters Blended Value Project. So we have the Daughters of St. Teresa, which was able to have 1,500% increase in terms of market share. They started with 3 customers in 2021, and now there are 48 customers in 2024. Such a huge, huge margin as a result of participating the Sisters Blended Value Project. We have Sisters of St. Anne who are able to increase their production by 147%, and this is in terms of production of milk, in terms of liters. So in 2023 August, they were producing around 134.7 liters. By March 2024, they were producing 333.5 liters of milk. So we can see the vision in late 2021, how it's coming to fruition. So thank you again to my panelists. It was nice having you. And thank you, everyone. Back to the MC.
And I'm sure there are more stories where that came from. Thank you very much, Mary and sisters, for joining us for this session. Now, we would like to move on to the next session, which is a documentary. I don't know whether that is ready. So, do we have the documentary ready? Good. Sawa. Back to you in studio. Take it away.
Across East and Central Africa, Catholic sisters have dedicated their lives to serving humanity, caring for the sick, educating communities, and creating opportunities for the marginalized. However, as times change, sisters face new challenges. In 2021, a baseline survey commissioned by the Conrad N. Hilton Foundation revealed that Catholic sisters are faced with many obstacles in their ministries. These findings led Strathmore University Business School to partner with the Association of Consecrated Women in Eastern and Central Africa, AQUECA, to develop a comprehensive solution, the Sisters Blended Value Project, SBVP. Its mission? To empower consecrated women with the skills, networks, and resources needed to build sustainable social enterprises and transform their communities.
The Sisters Blended Value Project started around the COVID time with a baseline survey. Through that process, we also, of course, by talking to them, learned that they also have ideas on how some of these challenges that they face can be resolved.
The baseline survey that we conducted before we started the project covered 3 countries that aimed to understand the sisters' work as far as income generating is concerned. And we came up with issues that were key focus. we grouped them into 4, and some of them were based around capacity building, which is about their ability to understand how to run, manage, and sustain a social enterprise, a business essentially.
Key to the success of this phase has been first the support in funding from the Conrad and Hilton Foundation. A lot of these things would not have been possible if we had not received this funding, and also their guidance. We have also partnered with AQUECA. AQUECA is the Association of Consecrated Women in East and Central Africa. We have worked very much collaboratively with them.
At AQUECA, what we do, we mainly build the capacity of sisters to be able to have more impact in the society as they go about their ministries. So in this, we are also having the Sisters Blended Value Project, which is helping the sisters to transform the ministries that they have always been doing, mainly in a charity mode, but now they are transforming them into social enterprises with more social impact.
SBVP is built on 4 strategic pillars, each designed to address a specific need. The first pillar, capacity building, focuses on developing capacities for the sisters in leadership and governance, financial, coaching, mentorship, succession, grants, and project management.
The methodology that we used to implement these particular programs, we used lectures, but these lectures have been embedded in the use of case studies. When we are doing the training, we ensure that at least we have brought the local faculty to come and take sisters through the different areas of capacity building. And so during the training, the sisters were given a project to work on, and this project they were supposed to present before they graduate. And so this is now where we brought in the coaches.
Coaching generally is a very important aspect of learning. All our sisters have gone through several sessions of coaching. We've got very capable coaches who've helped them walk the journey and produce a document that they can refer to at a later time to say, this is what I learned, this is what I hope to do with it in the future.
I used not to believe that I could do a fundraising and be successful in it, or even think of a very big enterprise like this. In fact, for us, the sisters, it was a joke. It was a good dream. But when we finished the program, we talked to our leaders and said, look at this thing. We have learned how to do this thing. We can implement this thing. Just give us a go ahead and believe in us. And hence, if we tell you that 3 months you're finished, it's a miracle. It's not even a dream come true, it's a miracle. And my coach, Dr. Helen, God bless her, even it reached a point she had traveled, and I called her, I told her, Dr. Helen, I think I'm giving up here. He said, Sister Yvonne, put all those things into practice. Talk to your leaders. Do everything we have said and hope on God. And that's what we did.
The second pillar is research. This pillar focuses on helping the sisters conduct research, design, develop, and incorporate innovative social entrepreneurship models, and generate case studies that provide insights to inform best practices in managing sustainable social ministries and enterprises in collaboration with key stakeholders.
So in this Sisters Blended Value project, we've been able to produce a total of 43 research outputs, and these 43 research outputs are spread across research papers that are to be published in various journals. We've also been able to document a total of 13 white papers and technical papers, and these are knowledge kind of publications that are meant to convey the various insights we've also gotten in our engagement in this Sisters Blended Value project.
The third pillar, collaborative networks, provides sisters with a platform to connect through conferences, webinars, communities of practice, partnerships, and alumni engagements to widen their reach and expand access to learning opportunities.
Our collaborative network pillar is very critical in SBVP program. In fact, in every module, the sisters, we could take them to a company visit. We kind of shortlist social enterprise that is in line more or less with majority of the sisters, so that they can learn from those who have been there for some years and they learn the best practices and also network with the social enterprises and also among themselves.
I am so grateful. It has really helped me to learn more what other people have made. It has made me also to be creative. When I go back to my community, I'll also help others to be more creative, not only to maintain what I have here, but also to tell them what I have seen outside. At the end of the day, you see, we can also do this one in this particular way. This one we also arrange in this particular way.
Through the fourth pillar, Integrated Financial Solution, SBVP provides sisters with access to funds that help sustain and expand their enterprises. The pillar focuses on establishing an integrated financial solution, incubator, accelerator platform that gives Catholic sisters access to funds to aid in further developing their social enterprises.
The Conrad Clinton Foundation has offered support to these sister social enterprise by giving them a seed grant. The sisters will be able to either kickstart or scale their social enterprise. So far, 61 congregations across the 4 countries, that is Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zambia, have received the seed grant.
So after receiving the grant, we bought some machines that we didn't have before. So we were able to do some more investigations instead of sending the patients to other facilities of which we have been doing, but now we do them here, like the urine analyzer, we are doing here, and we are very comfortable with that.
Over the last 3 years, the project has continued to make significant achievements, reflecting the team's commitment to empowering Catholic sisters across different aspects of leading and managing their social enterprises. In addition, the project has remained adaptive, responsive, and with greater transformative power for even more significant impact beyond the implementation period, exhibited through revenue growth, social enterprises process, efficiencies, and an increase in employment opportunities, showcased by various impact stories covered across the target 4 countries.
My experience with the sisters has been extremely pleasant, having worked with non-sisters, so the lay people, and working with the religious. Sisters are a group of very focused people. Sisters are very empathetic. They are constantly talking about their, congregations, their communities, how they can help their community. Sisters, when they say we want to build a primary school, by the time they are living here, after learning about fundraising, and before you know it, a discussion about a hostel that is costing 100 million plus has begun.
Since we began implementation for this project, we have received immense support. First, from the Stratford University and the business school leadership, for which we are forever grateful. We also thank the Conrad Clinton Foundation for their support in terms of funding for the last 3 years to ensure that the sisterhood is transformed and that they are able to transform their social ministries into sustainable social enterprises. We are very, very grateful also to our PECA, our implementation partner in this journey, and the national associations in the different countries, from AOSK in Kenya, that is Association of Sisterhoods of Kenya, Zambia Association of Sisterhoods, Association of Religious in Uganda, and Tanzania Catholic Association of Sisterhoods. We really want to say thank you, Zikomo, wherever you know, asante sana.
I have to wait for the music to start speaking. I see you clapped for the video, and it was louder than the times I asked you to clap for people. Now, because of time today, as you've noticed, today I've been less of a clown. I have noticed as well. And I'll continue being less of a clown so that we finish in good time. We have a special event. We're launching a booklet, a case study booklet, And I am handing over the microphone to Dr. Diana Ominde. I've been told she's the expert at this. She's been launching booklets, case study booklets for years. She's a faculty here at the Strathmore University. Karibu sana. Just before you take over, we'll have the launch conducted analog and digital. So for analog, we'll do it here in the room. Then after we finish with our prayers at the end of the event, we'll go outside and do a physical one, a more tangible one. You'll see the book in 3D, I'm telling you. You have no idea. Take it away.
Thank you so much for having launched the book already. So, yeah, as he said, my name is Diana Ominde, and it's a pleasure for this surprise that I'm the one launching the book. I take it I feel very honored. So I want to actually call forth individuals who have been behind the book, and I will start with the team that is present here, put together the research items in the book. Dr. Muridi, Dr. Madhuva, kindly. Sister Pamela, please come in front. I think you'll be on my side, and I want to appreciate our principal investigator with the Dr. Nancy as well. You'll come and stand on this end. And I will have Sister Grace, with pleasure. When you sit next to me, I get surprised, you get surprised as well. So come to the front. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Faith. Any other author who has been in this book and present that I have not mentioned, kindly feel free to come in front. All right. So thank you so much for having put the work together. I will just take a very few minutes, and I will speak to the famous quote from Alvin Toffler. It says, in the 21st century, for those who will be illiterate in the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write, but those who will not be willing to unlearn, learn, and relearn. And therefore, the researchers in Frontier are trying to challenge you that every now and then, try to unlearn, relearn, and learn. And therefore, we will actually soft launch the book. And my IT team, as I also welcome Dr. Mungai. Oh yes, please come. You'll not miss on this one. So I'm waiting for the video so that we can all see the book. This book is it has put all the cases together so that we can all put down the learnings we've gathered. We should be able to relearn along the way and be able to unlearn those things that have been keeping us stagnant as sisters and social enterprises, and embracing the new knowledge. And those that we need to keep on learning, we keep on learning. So we've documented them down so that you are able to actually read them wherever you are. And therefore, in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Yes, this is the wonderful work of researchers in the university. Thank you so much. Now, the physical launch that the MC said, where we will actually be able to jump on our feet and shout at the top of our voices, will be happening right outside after the prayers. And then thereafter, we can interact to learn, relearn, and unlearn as we move forward. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Remember when I told you she has been launching case study booklets for years? I want you to know that video was so good. The people who are outside in the atrium have come in to see what's happening. That's how big it was. And now we are getting to the end of our celebration of the impact that we've had as SBVP. And I'm sure by the time you're leaving here, in your mind, you'll be soaking in all that you've had. And we're looking forward to more partnerships and more collaborations, even as we continue. Now, to give us our closing remarks, I'd like to call upon Dr. Nancy Njiraini, academic and research lead for the project. A round of applause.
Thank you, Charles. And thank you, everybody. It's really overwhelming to see the things that we have been able to do. Sometimes when we talk about launching a book, you're thinking, yeah, you know, a few pages here and there. And then you see the output there. And then you see the time and effort that goes into what the team has done. Did you see that video? The documentary. Do you know who did it? Some very international, very professional person who works in some international organization, yes? And he's right here with us. Where is he? Alex.
Brother Alex.
So one of our own, Alex, you've seen him here taking pictures. He's the one who did that documentary, of course, with the help of the rest of the team, but he's the lead in putting that in. And the excellent voice you had in the background, did you hear that voice? He's one of our colleagues here. Where is Papa? Yes, very unassuming. You wouldn't even think he has a voice like that, but it's one of our colleagues. So we have a lot of talents within us, and among the sisters as well. The things that sisters would do. I see my sister nodding there because I have seen her in action in class. So we are truly, truly grateful for the things that we have learned. As Dr. Diana reminds us, to learn and unlearn and relearn, it really has been that process in the last 3 years. And we hope that in the next phase that's starting in January, we will continue to unlearn, relearn, and whatever other learning format we can do. But it's going to be a very interesting opportunity as we explore and share and engage and get to see what you do every day. So thank you, sisters, for the work that you do. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to share in your life and to walk this journey with you. We can't walk this journey without all of these people that you see here. Conrad Hilton Foundation, supporting us with their funding and their leadership as well. Akweka, how do we reach the sisters without you? They have shaped our engagement with the sisters, guided us along the journey. They are a true partner in this process. And without Strathmore University, we wouldn't be standing here. So the leadership of Strathmore, led by our DVC, Dr. Mungai, I'm trying to figure out what to call you, our research coordinator at the project, and then after he leaves the door, he wears another hat. He's the associate dean, Dr. Mathuva, representing the leadership, representing faculty, Dr. Diana. I see Agnes Roro over there. She teaches sisters about colors and how to know yourselves. Mary Aminga. There's so many people here who've supported us in that journey, and the partners who have been with us in that journey. So I see you. I do not want to start listing you because I'll miss you out, and I don't want to do that. And the new friends that we have made. Equity, I think, is our latest encounter. I think we had a meeting with them recently, so that's why Charity is nodding. And so many of you who've come to walk the journey with us, our new friends, our current friends, our old friends, as we partner in this journey to support sisters, those who are here, those who are waiting in the wings to be supported through this project, and the many others who do the things that we don't notice. We know that sisters are not very I wanted to say not good, but I don't think I should use that word with sisters. But sisters are not very out there in the open talking about what they do. Sister, you're nodding, isn't it? Yes, they do their things quietly. And we've told them our job at Strathmore is to be your voice. You can see how loud we are. You can see how we like to make noise. We shall do that with you. So we shall be your voice, but at the same time, we want to encourage you to have that voice. Let people know what you're doing so that they can also join you in this wonderful journey that you have. So thank you all so very much for taking the time to come in. I think some of us, as we were coming in, they shook our hands with a little something in the African way, yes? But now we want to appreciate our partners, our current and future partners in a different way. So I think Anne will come and guide me through here. We want to appreciate our current and future partners. So now you're obligated. You can't take something from us and then not come back. Eh? So Anne is our grant manager. She doesn't like to be seen. She hides behind the scenes. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Nancy. So quickly, I will call out the partners and the friends of partners who have come to be with us today, and we really do appreciate you. Then you'll come up to the front. You get a small token from us just to welcome you to SBS, Strathmore University, and to the Sisters Blended Value Project. And we can chart the way forward after that during the cocktail. Don't forget about it on second floor. So to start us off, allow me to call Charity Munyori from Equity Bank. Kindly a round of applause for her. Charity is a senior manager, women and youth banking, and we've already started conversations with her how we can help our sisters. From Tangaza University College, Brother Dr. Jonas, thank you so much. Followed by Mary Irungu from Akose and Beatrice Okoth, if she's here. Among our sisters, we have empowered, and now they are really doing something in the job market. Sister Catherine Murungi, Poor Servants of the Mother of God. She's become a supplier to SBS and SU. From Chandaria Foundation, Mr. Vincent Rapando. Philken Agritech, who are already working with some of our sisters to grow potatoes, Mr. Joshua Okeo. From Badili Africa, Ms. Bina Maseno, the Executive Director, if she's here. Mercy Chepto, DigiCow. And Mr. James Nyamai from BioAfrique. Our very own Felix Magajwa stepped out from KCIC. Sister Lydia Washira from CARITAS Bank, kindly. And from the Agricultural Finance Corporation, even government, yes? Ms. Sarah Washeke is also here. Welcome, Ms. Sarah. We have been very much supported in the transport by Elite Travel. Mr. Sospita, come up. Did we call out Sister Michelle Njeri from CNCS? Kindly come up. And I think once Sister Michelle is here, we shall all have received something. Oh, Sister Michelle already has hers. Good. Just come up with it. It's okay. We shall do a group photo. And thank you once again for coming, for honoring our invitation in a very short span of time. And we believe that we're going to continue our conversations. Thank you so much. Maybe some of our team can just join you up. Dr. Angela, umejificha kidogo. Karibu pigwe picha na this great team here. And if you can turn your bags around so that the logo is seen. Enjoy the small gift that we've given you. I'm sure it's going to be useful to you, especially in the office. Thank you very much, Sister Grace. Sister Celestine, kindly. No, it's okay. Just for a group photo. I don't know whether the photographers are able to see. All right, let's just give them another round of applause. Once you're done, Alex, give me the nod. Asanteni sana, you may have your seats. Dr. Nancy, you may continue.
Yes, I think for one second. Thank you. You've seen our partners, current and future, and maybe the next time we meet, we'll talk about more partners. These are the ones who are going to help us move the agenda of the sisters and their social enterprises further. We are talking about sustainability. So thank you all very much. Now, it's very easy to forget the team that does all this work, isn't it? So let's appreciate them, because I know I will forget a name, so I'm not going to call any names. Please come to the front if you know your SBVP team. Bring yourself here quickly. Lucy Ann, come. Our friends from Uganda, they have come. We have a Uganda office. Matilda has come. Venance from Tanzania. Lucy, project coordinator, incubator. Tanzania, wave. Tanzania. Uganda, wave. Finance, this is the one who refuses to release the money. Mary, we saw her. This is the one who does those beautiful designs, yes? You saw him in the video. He does coordinating. Sister Felista, can you come here? Behind the scenes. He used to be a father at some point. He'll tell us that story one day. The documentary was beautiful. Thank you. And next time, please invite Papa, the voiceover. So thank you. A sister who refuses to wear a scarf. She's a true bona fide sister. She works in research. She was part of the team that put the book together. Anne, grant manager, she oversees all of those things. Where would we be without our PI? Who have I left out? Golden. Yes, another person behind the scenes. Yes. You saw some of the other research team, Daktari, Venance we introduced, Gladys, Dr. William, we saw Dr. Madhuva, and there's somebody called Daisy. Who is she in the room? Where is she? Where is she hiding? Daisy was part of the original team that did the baseline survey, but she had other engagements. She wasn't able to continue, but she's a very strong supporter of this team, and partner. She's in charge of the regions, what we call the Strathmore Global Institute, here within Strathmore. She was the original team. The original team was Daisy, Dr. Angela, Anne, and myself, and then these wonderful people have been part of this great journey. Thank you so much. Is there somebody who's not here today that we've left out? Who? Boniface Murage, another team member. Yes, Brian Juma went to be on another project. And Bildad, yes. Now, Bildad was part of our team from Uganda, and unfortunately, he got a stroke in 2022. Yes, but he's in recovery. He's doing well. We get in touch with him from time to time. Some of you sisters who are in the 2022 class met him. Yes, sister, you're nodding. You met him, and they are always asking us how he is and where he is, so he's doing well. So thank you so much. sisters. Thank you so much, partners. Thank you so much, Akweka. Thank you so much, university leadership. And thank you so much, SBVP team. We applaud you. Okay? Now, MC gets forgotten. Thank you. MC gets forgotten. Thank you. Please wave. Now, I have seen somebody else who's a constant support of this project. Father Charles, you cannot escape. Do you want to say a quick hello? I know we are short on time. Father Charles has been with us, Karibu, supporting us, praying for us, asking about the sisters. Even sometimes when we think we are giving him too much work and we give him a break, he says, no, I'll come. So thank you so much, Father Charles. Greet the people and say one or two things before the MC throws me out. Father Charles, karibu sana. And I think you'll do us the honor of closing in prayer. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. This is the worst part. You've come at the end and you've missed the rest of the thing, and then we have to speak. So I'm really sorry. My apologies for coming late, but I was at another function. I was just keeping tabs to see how far has this one gone. I'm still coming, and finally, thanks be to God, we are here. I didn't want to miss the part, and I didn't want to miss meeting all of you. It's wonderful to be here. It's wonderful to see the sisters once again, and to see the whole SBVP team, to see all the partners, to share with you this wonderful occasion. I know you had Mass earlier, and that went well, and then the session that you've had here. I couldn't be part of it, as many of you have heard already. I've been given a new assignment to do, which will include leaving Strathmore to head to another country and work there. So even where I was, that was a bit the topic. That's why I could not come earlier. Anyway, enough of apologies. Wonderful to be here and wonderful to see you. May God bless all the work that you're doing. We are very happy that the sisters who have gone through the program so far in the different countries have benefited a lot. We have also learned a lot from you. And even as chaplaincy, we have been very happy to support the activities that you attend. I haven't told them, but many times when they see you at Mass, people see you at Mass at the main chapel there, here in the university, and they ask, what's going on? Yeah, then we have a chance to introduce SBVP and to tell them what the sisters are doing, what they are learning. It's another time not only to market you, but also to get people interested in what you're doing, which has been a wonderful opportunity, and we're grateful for that. I know I'm standing between you and the next event. So I'll just request that we stand and then we have a final blessing as we also close our prayer. Close with a word of prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Almighty God, we come before you at this moment, giving you thanks for everything that you have given unto us, starting with the gift of life and health and well-being, the gift of being able to be in a place like this to celebrate together, being able to give you thanks for all that you have done for the SBVP program, for the nuns themselves, for their sponsors, for Strathmore, for all of us, and our families too, and the people that these sisters minister to. We want to thank you for all those blessings. We want to thank you for everything you have done for us the whole year round and in the previous years. Thank you for all the people that we have been able to interact with, and also for the many other things that you have done for the SBVP program. The milestones that they have achieved, the programs they've gone through, the graduations they have had. We want to pray also for the projects that lie ahead, and that we want to begin them with you, because if the Lord doesn't build, then the laborer works in vain. We have learned a lot by being and participating in these programs. Bless all the participants, bless all those who have gone through them, bless even our future participants, bless all our associations, institutions that we belong to, bless our families too, and bless even the work that we do and all the people we'll minister to. And even as we come to the end of this program for today, we want to live here with your blessing, knowing that whatever we are going to do, we want to do it in your name, and that it may give glory to you. And we pray that even as we close with the prayer, glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. And may the blessing of the Almighty God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit come down on you and remain with you forever. Amen. Thanks. Oh, I have been reminded there is something that might benefit the gastronomical world inside. So we pray for that. Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty, through Christ our Lord. Amen. In Father, Son, the Holy Spirit.
So now I'm sure your stomach is waiting, because
On Wednesday, 27th November this year, Capuchin TV will join the Sisters Blended Value Project journey, elevating and celebrating impact event at Strathmore Business School. This event will reflect on the activities and impact of the last 3 years, 2022 to 2024, under the Sisters Blended Value Project initiative. It will also mark the closure, Thanksgiving, and celebration of the first phase of the project. This event will begin with a Holy Mass at 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. at Strathmore University Chapel, Phase 1, followed by Sisters Blended Value Project Journey Closeout event at 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. at Strathmore Business School, Transcentury Auditorium. This program is brought to you by Capuchin TV in collaboration with the Conrad Hilton Foundation, Aqueka, and Strathmore Business School. The Sisters Blended Value Project Journey Closeout event will be brought to you live on Capuchin TV and on our various social media platforms. Keep watching Capuchin TV, your Catholic identity channel.
Takatifu Yosefu Lamano, mwalimu wa imani, upendo wa Maria aliwasha mwanga. Tunakuimba leo, mtume wa upendo, urithi wako wa amani.
Joseph Alamano was influenced by the consoling virtue of our Blessed Virgin Mary. Sisters Salome Mwenga and Rebecca Kemunto shares the sentiments on their founder's spirituality.
Joseph Alamano, our founder, was so much devoted to Our Lady Consolata and to the Eucharist. In fact, he could stay many hours to pray. Eh? It is told that he was staying hours and hours for the prayer, for relationship with the Eucharist and Our Lady Consolata. And because of that, it reflects actually in his life. When we see, and from his writing, he was telling us that when he had also any problem, he could go to Our Lady or to our Jesus, the Eucharist. Just 5 minutes, it was enough to make him calm, and he was at peace. He used it to say that for him, he had never gone to sleep, not to get sleep because of problems. And actually, we understand at that time, when he was found in establishing this congregation, there were a lot of problems out and outside, in and outside of the church. And this, if it could be somebody else, could get a problem of sleeping, actually. But our founder said he was at peace. This reflects of his relationship to Our Lady Consolata and the Eucharist. In fact, he is telling us that when he had a problem, he could go to Our Lady and he could tell her that the congregation that he was going to found was hers. And it is true that we are called Consolata missionary because he gave her name to us as Consolata. He tells us she's the founder of the congregation. And this also reflects many times he told us that he got miracles in his life because of this devotion. He had problems, financial problems. He could go. One who is of the owner of this congregation, it is not me. And in fact, he got money, he got resolved the problem at that time. So this devotion of Our Lady to Lady Consolata that he left us also, he was telling us that when you are going to the mission, you have to have this devotion. You have to relate with God. For me, it has a lot of impact in my life. This devotion, Our Lady Consolata and the Eucharist. When I have problem, I ask myself, but whom? Why am I having these worries and, preoccupation and doubts and fear? Because our founder was saying she is the one. Tell her she will resolve the problem. Is Jesus the one of honor of this congregation and honor of you? It is also true that when he says that when we are going to the mission, to bring consolation to the people, it's not our consolation as us human beings, but the consolation that we take Jesus to the people and Our Lady Consolata. They are the true consolation. They are one. And because of connection of this, he told us to be saint before going to the mission. It is obvious that when somebody is saint, is having that divine, connection, when he talks with the people, it reflects who is he. And this gives a lot of sense why he said first holiness and second missionary. This is what we owned, this great pleasure, great gift from our founder to us as Consolata missionaries. And this spirituality that he left to us today.
I would like to share one dimension of our father founder, Joseph Aramano, the family spirit. For me, it touches me when he teaches us and continue teaching us about the family spirit. When he says, when we leave our home coming to this religious family, it's not a boarding school or a college, but it's a family where each one must feel fully and fully accepted and welcomed. Therefore, being in this religious family, we are not called to live as statues where you cannot touch one another, but to live as a family, caring for one another, rejoicing in each one's success, and bearing with the burdens of each other, with one aim of whom called us and whom we are serving. Therefore, with this, it's clear that fraternal love for one another is fundamental in our community living in our missions and wherever we find ourselves. So with this, as we continue living in this in various communities, we have to love each other more than when he says love for one another has to be more stronger than our brothers or sisters. So the sisters whom I found myself in the community, my love for them has to be more than the way I love my blood sisters. For this is a challenge. It's a call fundamentally to live deeply this love for one another, open my heart to receive others, welcome others fully, my sisters, because I'm living in a family where each finds a home. Prayer is the stronghold of any religious person. Blessed Joseph Alamano had a strong conviction about this as it is narrated by Sister Susan Duma.
Joseph Alamano was a man devoted to prayers, and he used to pray a lot, and he is asking us as a Consolata family to be people of prayers. Alamano was dividing his day for prayers in different sessions. For example, in the morning was devoted to offer the day to the Lord and giving an intercession or idea of what he wanted to live that day. Then it was like offering the day to the Lord, that then God continue to guide that day. And then during the day, sometime, especially the morning hours, he could pray with nature. That is, seeing what God has created and praying, seeing that God has done marvelous in what he has created. Then in the evening, he could go back to the Lord to thank him for what he has received that day, and then to ask for forgiveness of what he has gone wrong. Another thing about his prayer was that devotion to Eucharist, whereby Alamano was insisting to be devoted to the Eucharist. Reason being, sometimes he knew that in the mission where he was aiming to send the missionaries, there will be no chapel or there will be no tabernacle. And so that in this case, he wanted the sisters, the brothers, the fathers to take it deeply, so that ourselves to be like a tabernacle, moving tabernacle in the world, whereby we will not say that we are lacking mass where we are, but we are taking it from deep inside of our heart. That's why he is telling us also to learn from our Mother Mary, whereby our Mother Mary learned the obedience of God by accepting the call to be the Mother of God. And therefore, Mother Mary becoming the first tabernacle, whereby Jesus lived in a cradle or in a womb. And therefore, Mary is a moving tabernacle, and us we are called to be like our Mother Mary, to be a moving tabernacle, whereby we cannot say that we are lacking the Mass because of the nature of where we are. We cannot say that we are lacking Jesus because we are far away from where we can celebrate the Mass, but we have Jesus in ourselves. Another thing why he was existing to have this devotion to prayer as a family is because the prayer unites, the prayer gives the strength. And therefore, when we trust to the Lord, when we are devoted to the Lord, we find ourselves that all that we need, we can trust that God will provide for us. I can give an example whereby Alamano was telling us that if we need anything, we ask our Mother Mary. And for himself, he trusted in this way. And when he started the congregation and the seminarists were going away and he was left like nobody was there, he threw the key to the foot of our Mother Mary and he said, "This congregation, you are the one who started, I am not the one. Therefore, in our life, if we trust that God is providing, and whenever we have something, whether it's joy, whether it's difficult, we go to our mother, to our Lord, we can leave everything to hand of God and say that, God, you know that why you called me, why am I here, and therefore, this what I'm going through, I leave to your hands so that you can take care of it. Not that we are the one to struggle with the problems, but we go to Jesus, we present our cases, we present what is going around in our missions to the Lord in prayer.
Religious men and women privileged to see the founders of foundresses nostalgically shares their experiences with fond memory. Sisters Angelina Njage and Rosa Waeni narrate the first sisters' experiences of their founder that have been passed from one generation to the next.
I would like to share with you the relationship of our father founder with the first Consolata missionary sisters. The first Consolata missionary sisters, they were received by Blessed Joseph Aramano in Turin, and he welcomed them with a lot of joy. The relationship between our father founder and the first Consolata missionary sister was that of filial attachment and tireless fidelity. During the time of formation, the time of conference, he was urging them to be a good missionary sisters full of zeal. And he was telling them not only to be a missionaries, but first to be saint. He was telling them also to have the spirit of sacrifice and to be generous. To be doing things well without making a lot of noise. And the sisters, they were welcoming the word of Father Founder with a lot of joy, and they lived to them. And we are very privileged as Consolata missionary sisters, because whatever Father Founder was sharing with the sisters, they were able to put into practice, into writings, and as sisters who are present now, we are able to know and to carry forward our charism, because the first missionary sisters, they wrote and we read them and we put into practice as Consolata missionary sisters. Also, our Blessed Joseph Aramano, our founder, was having the time of recreation with them, where they were enjoying their time, joking together with our founder, sharing their joy of the day together with our Father Founder. It was a great moment to be with the Father Founder during the recreation. As Consolata missionary sisters, we follow the footsteps of our first Consolata missionary sisters who were formed by our Blessed Joseph Father Founder, will be soon a saint.
When they left in Italy, after the formation which the founder gave to them, they came here full of zeal, really full of zeal, because of the formation they had gotten from the founder and the zeal to come and share the word of God here in Africa, and especially here in Kenya, of course. So when they came, that time there were no planes, of course. They came by boats, and it took months to come to Africa. And some of them suffered a lot. So when they came to Kenya, they arrived in Mombasa and traveled by train, because the fathers were already waiting for them. If you remember, we talked about the fathers having come some years before. So the fathers were waiting for them, and they came, took them, and they went straight into missions. The relationship when they arrived, the relationship they had with the founder was, our founder followed them very deeply, followed all the missionaries, because he had different ways of following. One, they used to write in diaries. They write every day whatever they do from morning to evening, the activities they were doing, the experiencing they were experiencing in their missions, and sent them to the founder He also followed them in writing letters. Like if a sister or a priest had a particular problem, they always used to write to the founder as individual. It was like their face-to-face talk. You know, those times, it's not like today where we have the WhatsApp and you can always talk directly on the WhatsApp or call. There they were writing letters. I remember when you write letters, you had to wait. But our founder was very, very keen on following each letter of a single missionary. Whoever came, whoever wrote a letter, if they were experiencing a problem, he used to follow them individually, leave alone the group of the different experiences which they were writing also in the diary. Because in the diary was the apostolate, but also the letters, it was their also personal experiences, how they were relating in the community, how they were relating how they were experiencing the new life which they were living now in the missions. Don't forget, these people had left another world to come to another world. And those years when they came to Africa, you can imagine how it was, because that time it was really going to comb the bushes to start life. And so it was a hard time. And so Father Founder followed them individually and also as a community and as a mission. When they could sit together with the fathers, they write. Even they had meetings where they did, in fact, the first conference, which we call the Moranga Conference. They did together and came up with a methodology of how they are going to continue with the missions. And all these things they were doing with the Father Founder. He followed them very, very closely, so that despite the fact that he was very far and he never came to Africa to come and really learn what exactly the people he had sent, what they were experiencing, he was like he was there because of this information he was receiving from the sisters, from the fathers, and daily contact with the letters. If a sister is sick, Father Founder knew. If a sister is not maybe, the little things we have in community living, he used to read and he could reply. And it is through these replies, through these contacts in different ways, that he managed to help the mission to become what it is today. Yeah, it is through that he was able to create, to make it grow, and to help the missionaries. Even his beginning of the congregation, one thing is to start the idea, and another one is to have the people in the ground. So it is through this being in the ground and reading these diaries, he even came to know how he can widen the vision. So this carries this growth of the relationship with them, with the missionaries, the first sisters and first fathers, helped him to grow the congregation, and even the way he was sending more. Because of this, they could tell him, we don't have this, we need more, send more, bring more materials. He was literally involved.
Takatifu Yosefu Lamano, mwalimu wa imani, upendo wa Maria,